Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Call Her Daddy. Daddy Gang, I have been wanting to give you an update on my life, and not just like this is what I did last weekend kind of update, but in a more serious way. I feel like I haven't really sat down and talked to you guys about what's actually going on in my life. And while it's obviously so exciting that Call Her Daddy has been having a huge year with insane interviews and big guests, at the end of the day, the show was built on you and me feeling personally connected. So I am very excited to hang out with you today. This past April, Matt and I celebrated our 1-year wedding anniversary. Very exciting. We went to Hawaii with Henry and Bruce, obviously, and it was so relaxing and romantic. And Matt and I were sitting together reflecting on our first year of marriage, how amazing it was, all of the life decisions that we made together. We talked about all the things that we had overcome, the things that we accomplished. And as we're discussing all of this, I couldn't help but think to myself, you guys don't really know about any of this in my life. And that feels weird to say because I recognize I started this show talking so openly in extreme, explicit detail about my dating life and really all aspects of my life, but specifically me shitting on the men that I was hooking up with, detailing the sex positions that we were doing the night before, all of the good stuff. And I recognize that that has shifted over the past few years. So today, I want to explain why I pulled back. And then, in the spirit of reconnecting, I want to give you one of my most personal life updates that I have to offer right now. I have been an open book with you guys, and obviously that started to shift when I met my husband. And I kind of want to walk you through the evolution, the thought process, and conversations that Matt and I had along the way in deciding how much I was going to publicly share about us and our relationship. So let's go back to the first time I podcasted about Matthew. I was working at Barstool at the time, fucking throwback. And I had asked them, it was in the pandemic, I had asked them to send me to LA once restrictions kind of opened up a little bit more so that I could go and interview some guests for Call Her Daddy. If you all remember, that was the trip where I got Miley Cyrus on the show and it fucking changed everything. And at the time, I was extremely single. I was talking to a few guys on my roster. And the first night of my LA trip, I had a work/dinner date scheduled with Matt. I had never met him in person. We had one Zoom meeting together prior, and he invited me to go get sushi with him when I got to LA. When I landed in LA, I remember I immediately set up my podcast equipment and I just did what I would always do. I just started to talk about a date that I was about to go on with this sexy guy that I met on Zoom, and I decided to call him Mr. Sexy Zoom Man, and that is what he should be referred to by all of the women around the world. And I held nothing back. I talked about how I thought he was so hot, and I obviously searched his IMDb and I looked up every fucking possible interview known to man. His entire digital footprint I had memorized. He barely had an Instagram. I found it and I did all the top tier recon. You know what I mean? All the recon that I have taught you guys to do before you interact with the male species. And I remember I paused the podcast and I said, I will be back with updates. It's time to go on the date. And to anyone who's new here and has become maybe daddy gang in the interview era of Call Her Daddy, this was a very normal occurrence. No man was safe. No detail was left untold. If you were interacting with me in my life, you were getting talked about on the podcast. And so I will never forget, Matt pulled up to pick me up at my hotel And immediately when I got in the car, I thought he was hot. And I could tell I was going to get some great podcasting content from the night. And when we sat down at dinner, I was extremely upfront with him about this. I told him I had already banked 30 minutes of pre-date content. And so whatever happened on the date, obviously it's going to make it into the second half of the episode. He's like, you're insane. And I do remember Matt definitely expressed that he would love if I didn't do that. But overall, his vibe was chill about the situation, and it more became kind of like a joke of the night than something serious that was deterring him from having a good time. And Matt and I always say to this day, it was hands down the best first date we could have asked for. The date ended up being 3+ hours. We had really emotionally stimulating conversations. And I think overall, we both were just really surprised at how much we liked each other after one date. So I got back to my hotel room, and obviously I immediately podcasted about it, every detail. But the debrief, to be fair, was pretty fucking tame for my standards. I kept it PG. I'm pretty sure I just detailed our makeout behind the restaurant, nothing that crazy. And so the episode about Matt Kaplan went live 48 hours after the date. And shortly after, I got a call from Matt himself. I remember I'm in my hotel room. I pick it up. I'm all giddy. I'm like, oh, he's calling. What does he want? And I remember he's on the golf course outside, and he's laughing because someone clearly had sent him the episode, and he told me that he hadn't listened to it yet. Okay. And he demanded that he hear from my lips what I said about him. And I obviously just gave him the top line. I did leave out, I'm pretty sure, the throbbing of my vagina when I looked at him and all those little details that he didn't need to know. But overall, gave him the top line. We kept it fucking moving. And he again, kind of thought it was funny and endearing, and he was chill about it. It's not like he loved it, but the episode was harmless enough that he wasn't going to get mad at me. And so after that, we ended up hanging out almost every single night for 2 weeks straight when I was in LA. And when I got back to New York, there was this excitement that I had, but also this feeling of a little bit of uncertainty, because I think Matt and I were both so fucking happy with the time that we had just spent together, but I think we were also trying to be realistic and not get ahead of ourselves. He lived in LA. I still lived in New York. He was an adult. I was a little bit of a fucking degenerate. And there was just a lot of unknown variables. So we kind of decided to keep talking and just keep it somewhat casual. And so all of this was smooth sailing until I decided that I was going to ramp it up 10 notches. And the daddy gang in my heart, I just knew they were due for a graphic detailing of my sex life, obviously. We needed another Gluck Gluck 3000 moment. Okay, we needed a banger. So obviously insert the sloppy toppy delight. Okay? You guys, I will never forget that episode, and hopefully you don't. Here is the thing. Before I met Matt, I had good sex. I had a lot of good sex, but this man changed the course of my life and changed everything for me, okay? And so I felt obligated as a woman who had previously claimed that she, didn't enjoy getting eaten out. I needed to tell you guys what this man had done to my vagina. And so I remember in the episode, I detailed graphically. Actually, wait, hold on. You know what we need to do? We need to pull up the fucking episode description because you guys, oh my God. Okay, this is the description. This week is a solo episode with your father. Alex is detailing her sexcapades with Mr. Sexy Zoom Man, featuring her cum in his beard, his pussy eating skills, her, oh my God, her sex with him, and a battle between him and another man that made her realize how she feels about him. Oh my God, I forgot that was about this musician that I was talking to at the same time as Matt. Wait, I'm not okay. His fucking beard. There's so much to unpack here, but let me just fucking say, that episode did numbers, okay? Sloppy Toppy Delight. Genius. You guys fucking loved that one. Anyways, for context, I remember my headspace of when I went to upload this episode. Like back in the day, I had this obsession with really pushing everything to the limit. And what I mean by this is like, Matt was getting on a plane to come visit me the day that that episode dropped. Matt was in the air, flying cross country to my ass, and I, boop, pressed upload, boop, knew he couldn't download it, boop, let the world fucking listen to his pussy fucking eating skills. He's flying from Los Angeles to New York at this point to take me to the Hamptons for my birthday, and I thought it would be a good time to just bing, let the world in on a little bit of our detailed sex. And so I remember Matt landed. And this time, he didn't just call me. I got a FaceTime from him as he is in the car driving to my apartment. And I remember answering, and he just opens the FaceTime and he goes, "Alex, what did you do?" I'm like, "Oh my God, babe, I can't wait to see you. Like, I know where we're going to go to dinner tonight. We're all good. What are you talking about?" He's like, "Alex, I just got a call from my dad." No. Steve, that's like the real fucking kicker. I can handle Matt being like, me and Matt, we can go all day. Your dad is calling you. Matt's father was aware that his beloved son was flying across the country to see a girl who lived in New York. So naturally, he decided to do a little Google search of his own to find out what I was all about, right? Steve's just trying to catch a vibe. And when he realized that I had a show, obviously, he just went to click on the most recent episode just to get a feel for my morals and my values and like what I'm talking about each week. And unfortunately for him, my most recent episode was detailing how his son was intricately up inside my vagina to the point where it was so good, he made me cum all over his son's beard. He made me cum all over his son's. Does that make it sound like the dad? No. Matt made me cum. Steve's son made me cum on his beard. Regardless, Steve, I forever apologize for this one. However, you're a real one because we do laugh about this to this day. We actually recently talked about this at this past Thanksgiving. Steve was having a hoot and a half. Yeah, it is funny now, but it wasn't that funny back then. Overall, I just remember we hung up the FaceTime, and what ended up actually coming from that was Matt and I had to have a serious talk. This may have slightly pushed Matt over the edge, and it was because he started to get calls and texts from family, friends, employees, work colleagues, the random fucking high school friend that he hadn't talked to in 10 years. Everyone was starting to kind of put it together that Matt was the sexy Zoom man the Call Her Daddy girl was talking about every week now. And I could tell Matt was uncomfortable and a little overwhelmed by all of this. He is such a private person. And when Matt and I now talk about that time back in our lives, he always laughs and is like, "I just had no idea how serious you and I were going to become. So of course I was like trying to protect myself, and I was hesitant to have someone talk so explicitly about me in a way that could probably impact my life." And I'm always like, totally fair, babe. Totally fair. Thank God it worked out, but totally fair. Like, I get it. He wasn't in control. I had like all the keys and I was driving, and he was just hoping I didn't fucking go too far each week. But so that, though, I will say, was the first time in my life of having Call Her Daddy that I was torn about next week's podcast. it was the first time that I ever thought about sparing a man's feelings because I actually cared about him. And trust me, I hated myself too at that point. I was like, no, you cannot care about him. Like, fuck this. Like, exploit your life, exploit him, keep it fucking moving. But that just wasn't the truth. I did care. And so I will say this situation kind of forced us to have more honest and real conversations than we probably typically would have had at that point in seeing each other. And we really had to talk honestly and openly about whether we could fit into each other's lives. The reality was I was a very, very, very public person and he was beyond private. How the fuck is that going to work? I think what was confusing was the compatibility, like immediately off the bat was there. Compatibility, the intimacy was there. Everything felt right. But this aspect was going to take compromising from both of us. Obviously, you guys know how this story ends. It, thank God, worked out. And Matt and I, over that next year, we found a rhythm that worked for us. And looking back, without a doubt, I think my biggest fear at the time had been that I genuinely believed that I wouldn't find a man who would let me just be me and support my career, because it is a lot to take on. And, you know, I think for Matt, I feel like Matt's biggest fear, honestly, was he was just like, I just don't want you to ruin my life. Please don't take me down. I didn't. Everything is fine. But overall, I think the more and more we fell in love, I felt this internal shift in myself where I didn't have an urge to talk about everything that happened between us because I wanted to protect our relationship. And I was the one leading this decision making, which was nice. Matt had made it clear once he and I basically knew like, oh, we're in this. He made it clear that he trusted me implicitly, and he expressed to me that I'm now all in. Like, I'm down for whatever. I trust you. I trust what you're going to share on Call Her Daddy will be like fine for our relationship. And I love you and like do your thing. I love you, which was nice because I don't think I could have been with someone that like put guardrails up for me. And something I don't want to get misconstrued when I'm saying all of this, Daddy Gang, is like, you all did absolutely nothing to make me feel like I didn't want to share about my life or I needed to hide things. Like, that is not what this is about at all. You guys have been the most fucking supportive people in my life, truly. And I think it really was just a natural evolution within myself and what my relationship needed to build into what it is today. I also think something I've learned from spending more time in this crazy fucking industry is that when you start doing things for content and public views, it really starts to blur the line of what is real and what is fake. Because when you are sharing your relationship, inevitably, you're going to want to present the best possible way. And you guys see it all the time. Like, someone breaks up and everyone's like, what? They broke up? We've only seen them kiss and hug and be in love. And it's like, of course, like no one's posting the fighting video online. And I just think when you're doing that, you're constantly deciding how you want to be perceived by the world. And I know no one wants to hear this, but this is so fucking common in Hollywood. Like, a lot of the decisions people are making in Hollywood are heavily influenced by public opinion and image and branding and personal gain. And so that was also something that Matt and I personally recognized. Neither of us had interest in falling into that trap together. I didn't want to make decisions and do things that I wouldn't naturally do with Matt just for likes and views and attention. Like, I quite literally know couples who spend their entire Saturday night filming content, or they go to certain events so that they are photographed together. And so the internet gives them the stamp of approval of like couple goals. I also sadly know couples who attend events or just go out to be seen in public so that they are seen together and they're able to confirm to the public, like, yay, we're happy. Look, we're not breaking up. All is good in our life. It's just not something we were interested in doing at all. And obviously those are the extreme examples, but like you're still kind of trying to appease the public. And so you're making decisions about your relationship for the public. And by not leaning into any of that, it was the best decision we as a couple ever made in the beginning, to just keep it as private as we could. And now to clarify, I'm not saying I can't throw up like a couple moments with me and Matt on social media occasionally, but I do it in a way that feels very low stakes and low pressure to me. And I now have an understanding of what specific aspects I need to keep private and what aspects are okay to share. So now I want to share something extremely personal that I have been holding on to for the past year. And I am finally ready to talk about it. So here we go. Like I just, told all of you, pretty early on, Matt and I were having very, very real conversations about life. We talked about ideal timelines, our views on marriage, what we wanted out of life, whether or not we wanted children, and if so, when that would ideally be. And we were pretty much aligned on everything. All of these decisions, Matt and I went on to make in lockstep together. Marriage, buying a house, starting a company together, all of it. But one of the decisions that we have been actively trying to figure out is when we want to try and have kids. And so much has gone into these conversations. And we ultimately decided that we wanted to start trying to get pregnant last summer. And we were so excited. Like we started planning renovations on our house to build a nursery and upstairs kids' bedrooms. We told our families. Our date nights consisted of us talking about how excited we were to watch each other become parents. We started doubling down on what baby names we liked. It was at like the top of my notes every week. We were refreshing it. And we were both ready. Like we were just so excited and ready. And so shortly after our wedding, I went off birth control. And I really want to talk about that for a second because holy fucking shit, that was an experience that I was not prepared for. And I know everyone's experience is different. So first, I just want to be clear, like birth control is a privilege. I am so grateful that I was able to be on it. And again, I'm not a doctor. I am not advocating for anyone to go off of it. I just want to explain to you what my experience was. For context, I had been on birth control since I was 16 years old. And so when I was about to go off the pill, I started talking to my friends around me about their experiences, and every single one was varied. For a few of my friends, they went off the pill and it took over a year for them to get their period back. For some others, it only took a month and then their body was just like basically back to normal. So there is just like really, it feels like no way to know what will happen to you or what your body's experience might be. But for me, when I first went off the pill, at first, everything seemed fine. The first month I experienced spotting. I didn't get my period back, but overall I felt pretty normal. And then about a month or so later, things changed. I started to experience extreme vertigo and dizziness, and the new hormonal fluctuations were just so intense and really affecting me. I would be in interviews about to pass out. I would pass out in the shower. I was so fucking emotional all the time, and it was frustrating. I like physically, I could feel my body trying to re-regulate and find its new normal, and it was struggling. I started breaking out like crazy. I felt awful 24/7, and I just felt so out of control with what was happening to my body. I could tell something wasn't right. And of course, all of the questions any woman would start to think were running through my head. I'm fucking Googling everything. Obviously, the biggest one being like, am I fertile? And will I even be able to get pregnant? And I just started spiraling and assuming the worst, as we all do. And so 4 to 5 months went by, and I ended up getting my period back, but my cramps were beyond excruciating, to the point that my doctor considered that I may have PCOS. And so all of this is happening, and we're all trying to just figure out, like, how do I get back to normal? How do I feel okay? And while this is happening, Matt and I have a conversation, and we decide to just put a pause on getting pregnant, because the first priority was I need to get back to feeling good and normal. And so, as shitty as all of this was, that things weren't exactly going according to plan or our timeline about getting pregnant, my career, on the other hand, had never been busier and never been bigger. And when I look back at this time last year, I felt like I really had hit my stride in feeling so confident in running a company. I started Unwell about 2 years ago, and I am so fucking proud about what we've built. I love being a podcast host more than anything, and now being able to branch into this new role as a CEO and owner, I feel even more creatively stimulated. I've never worked harder or been more excited to be doing what I'm doing. This past year, I signed a huge new deal. I turned 30, and at that time, I didn't want to slow down. And getting pregnant inevitably would mean I had to slow down. And so I remember starting to have doubts, and it started to eat me alive inside, because, this wasn't the plan. Like, this wasn't the plan that Matt and I were so excited about. And it's not the plan that we talked about and that we agreed upon. And I don't know exactly when it hit me, but in the moments where I was being really honest with myself, which took a minute, but I eventually realized I wasn't ready. And even when I got to feeling healthier again, as nice as that was, it didn't make me want to rush and have a baby. Instead, it made me more anxious, because I should have felt ready. And I felt so frustrated with myself, and I felt guilty. Like, how had I gone from being so sure and so excited to start this process, and then now I'm doubting myself and second guessing everything? I also think I felt so conflicted, because in the back of my mind, I had this imaginary number. It almost felt like counting down, like, oh, okay, so if I delay the process 1 year now, then I'm going to get pregnant when I'm about, 31. And so then now I'm not having a baby until I'm 32. And ideally, if I'm able to get pregnant, like I don't want one, I want more than one. And so then I'm like, and I'm doing all this like fucking math in my head. And I think I started to like get so anxious and panicked. And I started to feel like it was all just like getting away from me. And I was losing this precious time. And it was this all-encompassing, overwhelming feeling. And so, of course, I had moments, I'll admit, when I started to think, fuck it, just try and suck it up. Like maybe once I'm pregnant, I'll feel differently. But then I always came back to like, I just know myself and I know in my gut, like I need more time. And so all of this was going through my head and I was spiraling. And so I knew I needed to tell Matt. I wasn't nervous about his reaction because I know the man that I married is always going to support me. I think if anything, it was almost like I was more hesitant to speak it into existence because I don't know, like I feel like I'm a very certain person. And I'll be honest, I felt very disoriented about how uncertain I felt about this one thing in my life. And also, I knew Matt was ready. And although I knew he wouldn't ever show it, of course, he was going to have some level of disappointment on his end. And so I told him all of this. I remember we were just like sitting, eating dinner at our house one night, and I just kind of word vomited it all. I was like, Matt, I know, that I've been like thinking about this, but I need you to like really understand what I've been thinking and what I'm going through and like what I'm thinking about. And it always makes me emotional because I remember I'm like going on and on and on like I do. And that Matt literally like grabbed me and like put me on his lap. And he was like, look at me. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. He was like, look at me, Alex. How long have you been carrying this? He was like, I love you so much. When it is the right time, it will be the right time. I love you and I will support you no matter fucking what. And oh my God. I'm just so beyond grateful that Matt could not have been more supportive. He is truly the best partner to me, and he is so loving and supportive and selfless, and I know he is going to be, oh my God, okay. I know he's going to be the most incredible father to our babies, but I realized I need more time. And that's tough to say out loud, but I realized I need time to live a little more before I enter the next beautiful chapter of my life. And I'm in no way saying I have to stop everything once I'm a mom. If anything, what I'm saying is I want to be so fucking present. I want to be capable of being the mom to my children that my mom was to me and my siblings. My mom worked. She was so motivated in her career, and she still gave us everything we needed and more. And so I just felt in my body that I want to grind at work and I want to be selfish a little longer. I want to enjoy what I've worked so fucking hard for. I want to go on a weekend trip with my husband and fuck and have no responsibilities after the longest work week. I want to throw unwell parties after a million meetings that week, get on a plane and go fly and have drinks with the daddy gang. I want to host events where we get to talk and connect and meet and celebrate everything we've built, which is this gorgeous, incredible community of women. And so this past year, that's what I've been doing. I've been being selfish and I've been living. And another thing I recognize is that life is so annoyingly unpredictable. And I sit here and say that I want to wait a little longer, but who fucking knows, right? Like, no life is perfect or ever goes as fucking planned. And I pray to God I can even get pregnant when I start trying. It may potentially be such a long road for me and my husband when we do decide the time is right, but we will cross that bridge together when we get there. So for now, I'm in my newlywed era. I'm enjoying this current phase of my life. It's been almost a year since I pushed back my timeline. So just reminding you all, like, this isn't happening. This didn't just happen. This was a year ago that I made this decision. And, you know, who knows when I'll decide the time is right to start trying. But if I can give you any advice, Daddy Gang, from everything that I've just been kind of experiencing and living out this past year, is like, the thing about timelines is they can be helpful, but I also don't think we can let them dictate our lives. I have talked so much about timelines on this show because I genuinely believe that there is just so much more pressure on women regarding when they should be hitting certain milestones in their lives. And so there may be some women listening who maybe you're the first generation in your family and who doesn't want kids. And maybe there is this intense pressure that you're feeling from your parents or your in-laws or whoever to get pregnant. My advice is just remember, you know yourself best. At the end of the day, only you have to live with the choices that you make about your life. That is way more stressful, in my opinion, than sticking to some like dumbass arbitrary made up timeline or your like mother-in-law bitching. Like, no, it's okay. It's your life. How do you want it to play out? And even when it comes to relationships, like, I think getting fixated on a timeline is only going to box you in and make you feel stressed. There may be some of you listening right now who are engaged, but something in your gut is telling you that they're not the right person. But maybe you stay because you already, whether it's you already put the down payment on your wedding or your families get along and you feel like you've invested too much time. There's no way that I could start over. I get it. It's hard. But my advice is don't be short-sighted. Fuck the plan. Fuck the timeline. You can start over with anything at any point in your life, whether it's moving to a new city, you're ending a relationship, you want to get out of a job you're miserable at, or you're pushing back when you want to have kids. I feel like we have this story in our head that we tell ourselves about why we can't make certain changes. Timelines, yes, they can help us feel safe and comfortable, like we have structure and maybe like we have a sense of security. But the minute a timeline, Daddy Gang, starts to make you feel anxious or stuck, please be honest with yourself and check in with yourself, because I think that's when you really need to start reevaluating. As difficult as it was to want to get pregnant and then need to pause, I look back and I am so fucking grateful that all of that happened, because changing the timeline allowed me to really look inward and recognize that I wasn't ready. And that's okay. So for now, I still have things in my life that I want to do before having kids, and I'm going to let myself do them. I'm going to enjoy it. And I think especially to any of the women listening there is something, I feel like we all have like an aversion to the word like be selfish. And because I feel like that's just not what we're taught to do. Don't be selfish. Like, what do you fucking mean be selfish? And it felt odd for me to lean into that concept, but I don't know if you guys, well, I guess you probably have seen on social media, like I've been bopping around and I'm throwing these parties and I'm having so much fun because I'm like, bitch, I'm living. And it doesn't mean you can't live once you have kids. It's just your life is different in a beautiful way. And so I'm having the fucking time of my life. Like Matt and I have so many plans for this summer. And we were definitely like, oh, we're doing like a little bit more than we usually would and traveling or like going with our friends places and partying and having fun. And then we both just keep looking at each other being like, let's just fucking go and do it. This is what this year is for. And we still will do those things, but it will just look different when we are able to hopefully like build a family. So Daddy Gang, I guess I will leave you with choose yourself and choose what's right for you. And just know that I love you and I'm so grateful that I feel comfortable to share all this with you. And again, thank you for always supporting me. Had I come on a year ago and said all of this when I was going through it, I think that it would have been a little bit of a disaster and I would have felt, I don't know. I'm glad that I waited and I kept this to myself for a little bit because I feel like I now have a perspective that hopefully will be helpful to other women listening. And if you guys have more questions, obviously DM me and I can do more follow-up solos. But I love you guys so much. And I will see you fuckers next Wednesday. Goodbye.
What is up, Daddy Gang? It is your founding father, Alex Cooper, with Call Her Daddy.
Huda, welcome to Call Her Daddy.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like really excited. I'm overwhelmed as fuck. Overwhelmed in like a good way and like in multiple ways. Like I'm not even like sitting here and I'm like, I'm overwhelmed, like I can't do it. It's like an overwhelming, like it's just I'm taking everything in all at once. Mm-hmm. I think anyone would.
Can you explain a little bit, like what have the past 48 hours since leaving the villa been like for you?
I think really like right now I'm just trying to make sure that everything like is good with the people that I'm really close with and that I hold dear to my heart. For example, like my daughter, like my family, like those are the people that I've checked on this entire time. Like I haven't texted anybody back at all.
How many texts do you have? So many.
Girl, so many.
Hundreds.
Like, I haven't, like the only other person I've called is my best friend.
Okay.
That's it.
Throughout the season, you were one of, if not without a doubt, the most polarizing person on the show.
So I've been told.
People either absolutely adore, love you, or there are people that like it actually feels like hate you and like do not fuck with you at all.
Yeah.
Why do you think that this is the case?
I think that honestly, I think perception's everything. And I feel like not all the time things are shown in the way that they are like perceived on TV. And I mean, I know who I am as a person. I think that's what really matters. I feel like if people are hating on me, okay, fuck you. Like I don't give a fuck. Like, why does it matter? As long as the people that I love are close to me and like that care about me and they, you know, see me for who I actually am, like that's truly what matters to me. And I'm very, very, very blessed to have so many people that do love me and support me because I feel like the good outweighs the bad in all honesty. And yeah, I try to pay the hate like no mind. To be honest, like you don't know me. You don't know me at all.
I was going to ask you, like, now that you have had your phone back and have gotten maybe like a brief second in between, like no sleep. I was going to say no sleep club, another club. You haven't.
Girl, I haven't. I'm not outside. I'm not.
You're sitting.
Girl, I'm sat. I'm sat.
You're like this with your sunglasses. The meme of
no,
you.
Dad,
like,
just sitting.
No, you're not moving. You're not moving. But I was going to ask, like, now that you've gotten to maybe see a couple of like your mentions, like, what comments have been like negatively the most shocking to you?
Oh fuck, I really don't pay that shit no mind. The craziest thing I've heard is that people called CPS on me. I was like, are you so serious right now? First of all, my daughter's dad was fully aware of what I was doing. He was fully okay with it. He signed consent. We had that conversation. We're fine. Me going on a show does not make me a bad person. You know how many mothers are, doing tours around the world who are doing all these things and they can't see their kids. It's like, it doesn't make you a bad mom to do something for yourself in that way at all.
Yep. Thank you.
And I'm just like, I don't understand it because it's just like, you guys just have nothing better to do at this point. And, I know that I'm a good mom. I'm with my daughter 24/7. Me and her dad, we split custody. So like I have her Sunday through Fridays. And then he has her the days that I don't have her. And so I have her majority of the time. I'm with her 24/7. Like I do the pickups and drops offs at school. I pack her lunches. I'm there to give her a pep talk if a kid's being mean to her in class. Like I'm there for her through and through. She tells me about the boys she likes. Like we do the hee hee ha haing. Like we put perfume on in the mornings together. We brush our teeth in the same sink, even though I have a double sink. She brushes it in my sink with me every morning. I do her hair every morning. We do outfits together in the morning. Like all of that stuff. Anytime I put a dress on, she's like, you look so beautiful, mommy. Like she's my hype woman. Someone says something mean to me, she's like, don't talk to my mom like that. Mind you, she's 4.
Dude, I mean, I have questions like later on that I want to talk to you about because that was like a point people were talking about. It's like you and your family and all of it. But like I can imagine coming out of the villa and just as a human being, but most importantly as a mother, understandably, immediately your gut reaction is to address that because like that's your blood, that's your daughter. Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
The only thing I was worried about as soon as I walked out of that villa was my daughter.
Yeah.
That is the main thing I wanted to address. I could care less about hatred from people. I care more about her safety and if she's okay.
Hidden Valley Ranch now comes in a new easy squeeze bottle. The same ranch you love, just in a new, easier to use bottle. New look, same great flavor. Hidden Valley Ranch is the original ranch, the brand that created ranch in 1954. Recently, Hidden Valley Ranch changed its packaging, moving from the original paddle bottle to new easy squeeze bottle. The new bottle offers a lot of benefits, including making it easier to just get the right amount of ranch out without making a mess and helping you get out every drop. Hidden Valley Ranch is America's #1 ranch. Visit walmart.com/Hidden Valley for a new easy squeeze bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch today. Hidden Valley Ranch, only serious about flavor. Okay. There has been so much conversation about your character, how you treated other islanders, whether or not your behavior was toxic. And we are going to get into all of it tonight. But I think in order to have like an actual productive conversation, I want to get to know you a little bit better before we get to your Love Island days. Okay. So let's go back. I want to talk to you about your childhood.
Yes.
What was it like in your house growing up?
So growing up, so my parents, they immigrated to America and got their citizenship. And my dad, he had his own business. And my mother, she was a teacher. And, we weren't like fortunate as kids. Like my mother and father had 5 kids. So it's like, and they immigrated here, no family, nothing. So I wasn't raised with money. I wasn't raised with that. We played with sticks outside. We didn't have phones till we were like 16, 17. Like, I'm not a, privileged child. I was never that. And growing up, my dad was extremely abusive. He was very abusive, like towards my mother, towards me and my siblings. Like a vivid memory I have as a kid is like, I don't even know how old I was, but I remember hearing my dad like beating the shit out of my mom in the room. And I remember like finally, like I think someone got the door open and I just remember seeing my mom's face, like her glasses were broken. And then I just see him snatch her head back and slam the door. Like I'm gonna cry. Like that's literally like that was my childhood. Can I get a tissue?
There's tissue. Let me got you.
Damn, we just started, Alex. Hold on a second.
You're good.
I'm definitely about to start my period. Like, there's no fucking way I'm not.
I'm on mine, so we'll just fucking
Are
cry
we
together.
syncing? Alex, you're making me sync with you. Should I stuff this one?
Yeah, just put it there.
Okay,
Right.
so but yeah, so I grew up in an extremely abusive household. Not needless to say, like I did have a fun childhood though. I think me and my siblings were extremely close in the midst of the chaos. Like we were very, very close. My sister, she would get us away from all that. She would like take us on little, we would call it the dinosaur trail. And it was like this dirt road because they were doing construction. Sometimes you would see like deer tracks and whatnot. And like sometimes she would do things to make it look cooler, to make us think there were dinosaurs and stuff. Like that's like the things we would have fun with. We'd go in the creek and we'd play in the creek. Like we would do all these things as kids.
And of the 5 kids, where were you in the lineup?
I'm the youngest.
I, even in like writing this interview, like I had no fucking idea about anything about you because there's not anything really on the internet about your life.
They didn't put it on the show either?
No, that you didn't talk about any of this on the show.
Oh, that's crazy.
When you're talking about your dynamic with your parents and specifically your father being abusive, being the youngest, because I can imagine you're talking about your sister kind of like being the one that's getting you guys out of the house. But how do you think being the youngest in an abusive household impacted your personal development?
I think I was a lot more persuasive being a lot younger. So I was a lot more persuasive in terms of like giving me sweets and like buying me things and, you know, doing things towards me and hurting me and then saying, oh, here's this, or like doing things and, you know, saying, you know, I'll go take you here if, you know, whatever. And that happened to me a lot as a child as well. Like, and then at one point, you know, when my parents separated, I was in like the 4th grade, I believe. And my mom, I remember when my dad was at work, we packed up everything and we left. And my mom, she got it. We lived in like this 2-bed, 1-bath apartment that was like, I think it's like $600 rent, I'm pretty sure. No washer and dryer. We would go to the laundromat. Like me and all my sisters were in a room. My brother was in his own room. My mom slept on the couch. It wasn't even a couch. It was you know those outdoor like futon things?
Yeah.
Outdoor like futon things?
Yeah.
And they have like the wooden railing things on them. Yes. And then like it's like just a cushion. That's what my mom would sleep on every single night because she didn't want to take a bedroom.
What was the breaking point for her to get you guys out?
I'm not 100% sure exactly what her breaking point was. Mm-hmm. I think maybe it possibly could be her support system on the people on the outside that saw this happening.
Do you have a relationship with your father? Do you speak to him?
I haven't talked to my dad in 8 years. Yeah, I stopped talking to him when I was 16. There's a really valid reason as to why I'm not speaking to him. My dad there was a lot of times where I was alone with my dad, and there's things that like my family doesn't believe me about. Tissue. So damn, girl, you got me crying on the show. I know that friggin' period is coming and it's on its way to us very soon.
Period or not, Huda, like this is some
girl, trust me, when I was with the psychologist, I like talked to her about all these things and I was just crying. Cause it's like you relive it when you talk about it. Ooh, hold on.
Take your time.
So anyway, there's a lot of things that happen. I don't want to go like too much into detail. Yeah. But I kept a lot of things to myself. And then there was a point where I got really scared. And I remember calling my mom and just telling like, please pick me up. Like, please pick me up. And she was like, what's wrong? Like, I can't. I have to get you tomorrow. Like she was working like 3 or 4 jobs. This woman would not sleep. She would sleep like 3-4 hours. And we would never really see her as much because she was working all the time. We would eat frozen food and Wendy's. And she's like, I can't. I was crying. I was like, please pick me up. I would lock myself in the bathroom. My dad went in his office and was like working. And I like tiptoed out when she was there. And I like grabbed my things and I like tiptoed past his office. Because the floor would creak sometimes. So I was so scared. And so I tiptoed out and I like closed the door really quietly. And I just told her, I was like, please go, please go, please go. Like, I was like, please get out. Like, get me out of here. And to this day, like, I don't think anyone in my family believes anything that I say about that.
Why?
I have no idea. Maybe it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
but I just accepted that I know what was going on.
Yeah.
And, I had listened to like podcasts about certain things leading up to a lot with my dad. And it made me realize, like, I don't want to say grooming, but like there's a lot of things that were happening. I don't know. My dad hasn't remarried or nothing. Like it's I have no idea the reasonings behind it. So I never really had a father figure growing up in that way, at all.
What was school like for you during all of this?
I always got bullied in school. I think I always was just like unapologetically myself, and that didn't resonate with a lot of people.
Seems like a theme in your life, Huda,
Girl,
that we're gonna get to.
Trust me, there was a lot of things that triggered me in that villa. I will be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
And things that I caught and was clocking and was told that I was being crazy. But I don't know if anything was done on purpose to make me act out in a way. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, I got bullied in school. When I was in middle school, there was a point where like I wanted to take my own life. I did not want to live anymore. Girls, I remember I was friends with these girls, and then like I think it was like two of them I was friends with, two or three of them, and one of them was a new girl. And mind you, I was friends with the other girls. We were all fine. And then the new girl comes and she's like, does modeling and she does all of these things. And like, I'm just this girl who loves to sing. And she knew I like my dream. I used to watch America's Next Top Model growing up. Like I wanted to model so bad growing up. And, I realized I was too short. Like I was like, this is not going to happen for me. But I was always a dream of mine. And like, she knew that. And she would kind of rub it in my face and would be like, oh, you're not even pretty enough to do that. You're not skinny enough. You're not this. I stopped eating for days at a time. Like, I remember my math teacher, she would literally be like, how do you need to eat? Like, you need to eat something. Like, I would never eat anything. I was bulimic. Like, I would literally chew food and then spit it into a trash can just to taste it because I thought I wasn't skinny enough.
And did anyone in your life, like your mom or your older sister, did anyone know you were going through this?
I didn't say anything. And like these girls would push me into lockers, throw food on me. Specifically that one girl, she would do that, and other girls would just hee hee ha ha. Kids would harass me in school. They would I remember this one kid who was on the football team, he would grab my ass, he would like pin me against the wall in middle school. People would make racial comments about me, call me a terrorist. This stuff happened to me my childhood. And leading into like high school, like I had always felt like I got left out of things throughout school. Like in high school, I remember people tried to start bullying me again. I think at that point, before that I had begged God. I was like, please, 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 like please, please get rid of these girls for me. Please, like make this easier for me. Like give me a fresh start, please. To both of the girls, they moved away. And I had a chance at a fresh start. And, everyone in school like kind of knew what people were doing. I mean, at least as far as I knew. And I remember someone tried to make a terrorist comment towards me in high school, and I shut that shit down immediately. I was like, I'm going to turn a new leaf and just nip it in the bud. And I did. I nipped it in the bud, and no one said anything about it again. And I remember I was friends with these group of girls in school, and I had always felt left out in things because my mom was really strict on me. Like, she wouldn't let me go to sleepovers. She wouldn't let me go out. Like, she didn't even want me to go to, like, the thing we had this thing called, like, tea dance. Like, she didn't want me to do any of those things. I had to beg her to go to prom. And, like, when I felt left out in things with those friend groups, because they would be like, oh, she can't even go anyway. But it's like, just ask me if I can. Like,
right. Like just give me like a
let
bone
me feel a little bit
like,
included.
Yeah.
I didn't have a phone either. And then I finally got a phone. Like, they kind of like, they made me get Instagram. They're like, you need to make an Instagram. You need to make Instagram. I'm like, okay. So I started doing Instagram stuff. And like, I started gaining followers for like my singing videos and things like that. And it was a fun moment for me. But in turn, people in school were like, she's so full of herself. She's so cocky. Like, who does she think she is? And, with that friend group that always left me out, I think there was one point where I was sitting with them at the lunch table and I was just like, the girls were laughing about something and I really didn't find it funny. I have a unique sense of humor, I feel like, and sometimes people don't understand it, but like, there's certain things I really don't find funny. And, I'm sitting there and these girls are like, hee hee hawing, like laughing. And I'm just sitting there just like with a straight face, just kind of like wondering like how that is even funny. And they looked at me and they're just like, Huda, like, why are you not laughing? Like, what is it? And I was like, honestly, I don't think any of you guys are really funny. And I really don't want to be friends with you guys. And I got up and I just walked away. And since then, I would go into this dressing room thing that had little mirrors around it. I would practice dance. I used to be a dance captain. I practiced hip hop in there. Was I the number one person in the world? No, but I was still learning. And I would sing in there. I would practice like my acapella stuff in there. I would practice. I was a theater kid. I did a lot of musical theater. Like I practiced all of these things in there by myself. Free period, I'm going to that room and I'm practicing. That's all I would do.
Just even like hearing you explain, I feel like at such a young age, you were getting it from every fucking angle and there was nowhere to go but rely on yourself. Like you talking about being in your household, looking at your mom being physically abused, then it turning to you, being alone with your father in this moment where you're like scared for your life and you're trying to flee a situation that should be the one place you do feel safe. Then you go to school where maybe it's like, let's get some reprieve. Maybe the kids at school can make me forget about my home life. And then you're getting it from your school life and your peers. And it's like, I can't help but think like what that young version of you, how do you not put up this hard wall? How do you not become this person that, like you just said, the minute they made a joke about you and they came at you and they tried to make a racial comment to make you feel less than, one day you decide to be like, no, fuck that. But how many days prior were you crying in the bathroom, sitting alone, crying about it? Like, it's so sad to think about you developmentally, how you had to turn from this like soft loving girl to then like you needed to create this hard exterior literally just to survive. Like, what do you wish you could go back and tell yourself, like sitting here right now with all of this success in like the darkest moments of your life where you mentioned like it got to the point where you literally didn't want to be here anymore?
Fuck him. Fuck him. Like, who gives a fuck? Be yourself. Do what you want to do in life. And this is what I tell my daughter all the time. I'm like, do what you want to do. Stop caring about what other people think. Because there's times where kids will be mean to her. And I'm just like, honey, like, you're so smart and you're beautiful. And, you know, you're fun. You're funny. Anyone would hate on somebody like that.
We all know that you are a mommy, mamacita. Mamacita.
Of a human child.
Like, you saw that? Were you like,
I died.
How is this the most viral thing
I
fucking
died.
said?
I was like, this is the most viral thing I said is that I'm a mommy. Like you know what's funny? Me and Nick like barely remember that conversation. Mm-hmm. I just remember going into it. I remember I was like, me and Nick were very like goofy people. Mm-hmm. And we don't take shit seriously in conversations when we talk. And you know, like there's times where we try to be serious, but always ends up on a funny note. And in that conversation, I remember I wanted to bring it up to him, but because of our nature and like the way we are, I was like, I can't sit here and be serious towards him.
Right, like, Nick, I have
like,
a big
listen,
thing
Nick,
to tell you.
I'm so sorry, but like this is so serious and
or you're gonna fuck around.
I am a mother and I really want you to understand. Like I didn't want to do that. I'd be like, guess what? Like, because that's how we are. Me and him were goofy as shit.
But the point I was bringing that up for is you are a mother. You have a daughter, a gorgeous daughter.
Thank you.
How did you meet her dad?
Tinder.
Stop. Oh my God, you need to do like your first brand deals with Tinder.
Listen, it may not always work out, but you might have a fun time. Like literally. So we
dead.
So we met on there. I remember I was like 18.
Okay.
And I think this is the first time I ever moved out of my mother's house. Because I was just sick of being controlled at that time. You know, everyone's rebellious. You're getting controlled your whole life. You're told you can't go on sleepovers. You're told you can't do X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3. It's like, finally, I'm 18. I'm legally, I have freedom. I can do whatever I want to do. And I moved out. I was living with these two other girls. And I decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to talk to whoever I want to talk to. I'm going to go out. I'm going to do this. I had my fun when I was 18. And I think that's why I'm like not really big on like going out now. Like
you're like, I did it.
I did the thing.
That was enough.
You know the thing?
Yeah.
I did it.
You did that. Okay, wait. How would you describe your early stages of that relationship with him?
We were very lovey. We got very lovey very fast. Very lovey-dovey. Like I really liked him a lot. And for me, I always tell people, I'm like, you can always tell when I really like somebody and when I really don't. You can always tell. It's like 0 to 100. Like you can 100. I can't lie. I cannot lie.
I know you told us you're sitting there with the girls and you're like, you're not funny.
No.
Literally.
Like, I can't sit here and act like I like you when I don't. I can't be fake. Like, if I sit here, I'm just like, oh my God, like, I love you.
You're like fuck off.
No, I'm like, can you just leave me the fuck alone, please? Like, get away from me. Like,
So you really, really liked him.
I did. I really,
the
really
jump.
liked him off the jump. Like, we were very, very close, very fast. But in that, he did cheat on me, you know? And that doesn't make him a bad person. He just made bad decisions.
Okay, wait. Before you got pregnant, did you guys have conversations about like what you wanted your future to look like together?
We obviously wanted to move in together. The goal was marriage. Like, that was always a thing. Like, we were very locked in with each other at that time. We would always, I mean, a lot of the videos got out. Like, we made so many cute videos together. We would go to the beach a million times together.
Can you take me to the moment when you found out that you were pregnant?
Bitch, girl. I remember this was after he cheated on me when I was in Puerto Rico. I was in Puerto Rico with my sister for the first time ever.
Okay.
First time ever on vacation with her. You know, first major vacation. I was really excited. It was a good time until it wasn't. And then I remember, you know, I had his location. And at this time, hell yeah, when someone's cheating on you multiple times, you're going to get a little toxic and go a little crazy. And I'm checking that man's location like nobody's business on this vacation. Because he cheated on me so many times. But I was naive. I was naive at that time. I took him back a million fucking times.
Okay, I do want to emphasize you were 18. At 18.
Exactly. This is like what? Like 6 years ago?
I know. But now we do got to get better. But I agree.
I don't do that anymore.
Okay.
I don't even care. Like, no. Now, girl, guys have given me the location. I forget that I have it.
Okay, perfect.
Like,
you're too tired.
I'm tired, Grandpa. Like, I don't want to do that shit, man.
Okay, so you're 18. You're getting toxic because he's cheated a couple times, and you're like, "I'm on to you, motherfucker." I'm in Puerto Rico. What happens,
girl? So I'm looking through, you know, seeing where this man is going, right? And I remember there was one night particularly, he was not answering the phone, and I was just like, okay, this man is up to something. I was like, he has to be cheating on me because that was the only logical answer. And to my surprise, he was cheating on me. So I was like, okay, cool. Great. So I remember I was just going off on him because he was not answering his phone. He was at this random house. And we had to talk because he wouldn't let me go to clubs or anything. Oh. And I wasn't like allowed to go to parties. I had lost a lot of my friends at the time because like every time I would hang out with him, he would like blow up my phone. And, you know, mind you, I feel like I blew up his phone too. Like, it's not like it was just him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was doing shit too.
There was a cycle that was being created.
Yeah, it was a very toxic relationship. And basically, he was at this house. I'm calling. He's not answering. Then I see his car leaving early in the morning, like just leaving that house. He's calling me. He's like, I just got a ticket. Like, I'm late to work. I just got a ticket. I'm just like, where were you? I was home. This is when he was in the barracks in the military. And so he told me he was in the barracks. Brother, did you forget I had your location? Like,
I've been tracking your house like my Uber
like,
Eats order. Like,
literally, I'm like, bestie girl, I'm on like a hawk. Like, I'm looking at your ass going.
You're
like,
you're zooming.
You're going 71 miles per hour. It's back down to 60. Like, I'm looking at the whole shebang. like,
I know what route you took. Okay?
Literally, I know the way you go home from work. Like, I saw the whole thing. But no, I'm just kidding. But like, I was just like, all right. You definitely weren't home. I'm not crazy. I'm texting his friend. His friend, I guess, told me, he said that he slept at his place, like his friend's place in like the barracks room.
Yeah.
And then I asked him where he slept last night. He slept in his own room. So the math wasn't mathing.
You're like, one of you is fucking lying, you idiot.
In the middle of this conversation, I get a DM. Hey, girly. I was like, be so for real. My intuition never lies. I'm like, oh my God. I looked at that shit. I was like, wow. I got pictures of them in bed together.
No.
Yeah. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Not the hey girly.
Yeah. And I was just like, okay, cool. Yeah. Then that whole thing happened. Then he was like, said a lot of things to convince me to take him back, which I did. And I was naive.
I get it. Anyone that's judging didn't have one of those first true, like, so madly in love toxic relationships.
Everyone has one.
I had one and it was horrible, and it fucks you up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's intoxicating because when you're in love for the first time, you don't really understand anything else.
I never had a good example growing up. Like, I never had anyone to guide me in that way at all. I thought, when I became 18, and mind you, I didn't have my first kiss until after high school. I didn't have sex until after high school. Like, I thought it was like a fairy tale. I thought it was like Disney. Swear to God, I'm watching all these things. I'm watching all these Disney movies, and I'm just like, oh my God, like it's gonna be like that, and he's gonna look at me from a costume and be like, hey, like I'm thinking it's like gonna be some cute lovey shit, bitch. When I lost my virginity, and that man was sleeping with one of the girls who bullied me in school, I was like, be so for real. This shit is not what I thought it was.
You're like, this is a horror movie.
I'm dead ass. Dead ass.
What is this shit?
Literally.
Dude,
But
you had a rude awakening coming.
Literally. I know I haven't gone on the pregnant topic yet. But
okay, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Sorry, I have ADHD.
I won't let you forget.
Thanks,
How
queen.
the fuck did you find out you're pregnant?
Okay, so after that happened, I remember we were all hanging out, like having a little party, whatever. I remember I was going up the stairs, and I remember me and his friends crossed paths. I remember I was lit as shit this time. And I was just like, I looked at his friend, I was like, I think I'm pregnant. And he looked at me and he was just like, no. And I was like, yeah. He's like, no. And then I remember I had eaten Taco Bell and I threw that shit up everywhere. And then this is also when I found out I was allergic to Tylenol. So I took a Tylenol and I found I was allergic to that. So that was another thing. I had a fever after that. Not a good time. Morning sickness plus a fever, not great. So anyway, after that, we were going home and I was like, okay, we need to buy a plan B. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's go buy plan B. We go to Walmart. Okay, we go to Wally World. And I was like, all right, let's go buy plan B. We're going to the thing. I'm looking at the pregnancy test. I'm like, do you think we should buy a pregnancy test? He's just like, why? I was just like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like we should buy one. And he was just like, okay, but why? I was like, okay, well, we're not really rich right now. I was like, the plan B is more expensive than the pregnancy test. Imagine if I'm pregnant, we can just return the plan B. So that was my logic. I was like, all right. And I go in the Walmart bathroom and I pee on this stick. I put it back in the box and I walk out and he's just like, what did it say? I'm like, I don't know yet. It's still developing. He's like, okay. We walk to the car. We get in the car. We sit down. He's like, all right, you want to open it? I was like, yeah. Open that shit. Pregnant. I said, oh. We started crying. We was in shock. I was in shock. I was crying. I was like, what do I do? I'm talking to my best friend. I'm like, girl, what do I do? And she's just like, do whatever you want to do, whatever you feel is right, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, cool. And long story short, we kept breaking up and getting back together. He deployed. We kept fighting the entire time. He still was talking to other girls. Like, it was like a whole thing. And yeah, that was the story of how I found out I was pregnant.
How did your family react?
So I actually kept it from my mom for like 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
Kept it from everybody for 3 or 4 months. I didn't know how to do this at all. I didn't even know I was supposed to go to the doctors. I didn't know anything. No one taught me anything. So I didn't know what to do. And I just kept her growing inside of me. I didn't go to an OBGYN. I didn't go to anything. I just was pregnant. And I didn't get checked at all, nothing. And I remember, I think like 3 or 4 months in, I was getting a little bit bigger. We would go to the grocery store, me and my mom, and like, I would be craving things. And she kind of looks and she's like, moms know. So I remember there was one time I was in my room, and this is back when I moved back in with her. And I was in my room and she came to like give me a hug. She said something and like I hugged her. I'm a big hugger. She came and gave me a hug. And then she goes, you're getting chunky, like chubby, like you're getting a little chubby. And I'm just like, oh shit. Like, I have to tell her.
You got to tell her.
And I'm sitting in my room just like contemplating. I'm like, fuck, like, what do I do? So I'm like, Mom, she was cooking. I was like, Mom, I have something to tell you. I was like, can you please come to the room? And she walks to my room, and then she sits down on the bed, and I was like, Mom, I was like, I did something bad. And my mom is extremely religious. She's Muslim, so she's extremely religious. I was like, I did something bad. And she's just like, did you hurt somebody? I said, no. Did you do drugs? No. She's like, just was listening to things. She's like, did you do this? I'm like, no. And she goes, are you pregnant? And I just start crying. And she sat there and she looked at me. She goes, don't sin twice. And that's when I knew I was going to keep my daughter. And yeah, that's the story of how I told my mom.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how did you decide to end that relationship on, off again, toxic while you're pregnant, then you have your daughter. Like, when did you end it and how did you end it with him?
So we were together. We moved in together after having her. And then I think like less than a year. I'm not pretty sure how long it was after we moved in together. But I remember there was a lot of things that bothered me in the relationships. Like when my daughter was an infant, like firstborn, you know, I was breastfeeding at the time. And yeah, I was a stay-at-home mother, but I was with her 24/7, never sleeping. And if I got up, she would cry and cry. And it's to the point where when your kid has like colic, you just don't want to hear crying anymore. It's like you don't want her to cry. So you will sit there and not eat so she doesn't cry. You will sit there and not shower for days so she doesn't cry.
Your daughter had colic.
Mm-hmm.
And can you just really make sure everyone understands what that is, just in case they don't know?
So it's like when kids, like, they cry for no really apparent reason. Like you can do anything and they will not stop crying. And you know, some mothers go crazy with it. Like I had to keep my cool the whole time. I would just cry because I couldn't do anything. And like one time my mom, she was just like, just sit her in the room, walk out for 5 minutes. She can cry, just come back and just like collect herself a little bit. And like when she would cry in the middle of the night, like I understand he was in the military and he worked a lot, but it's like, you know, this is a team effort. And, you know, being a mom is a full-time job. Like you're with her 24/7. And like in the middle of the night, we were supposed to do shifts. Like if like I had to change a diaper, then it was his turn, then it was my turn. Sometimes he would do it, but a lot of the time it would be like, hey, like I would wake up to her crying. I'm like, hey, can you come on? Like, can you help me? Can you help me? And he was just like, you do it. And so I would get up and go do it. And, you know, in times like when he would come home, it was like, oh, let me shower first and I'll make you something to eat. Oh, can I play this video game real quick and then I can make you something to eat? And, or like, I'll be like, can you take her so I can do this? Hold on, let me shower. And mind you, he was a great dad still. He still did good things. Like he still spent time with her. He still was fun with her and stuff like that. But I think a lot of the hardships were on me. And, you know, that's also why, like on the show, like the baby thing, that triggered the fuck out of me.
Let's get to that because we're going to get to Love Island. I want to go through that.
Okay,
but
yeah, cool.
So you ended up just realizing this person, it just wasn't going to work romantically.
It wasn't going to work romantically. There was a point where, you know, he wasn't very good with his finances. And I was just kind of like realizing what I really wanted in a man because I was getting older. I was getting less naive. But yeah, so then during that time, like he wasn't really good with his finances and we were always late on bills, late on everything. I would do Instacart with my daughter, which is dangerous. I would do Instacart with her and bring her with me to do that because we were so broke. And I would give him all the money that I would make from that. And we were still late on rent. And I remember there was a time where he was like leaving for, I think, training or deployment or something. And we had like 30 days, less than 30 days actually, to move out. And we had to find a new place. I have never found a place before. I had never done anything like that before. Nothing was packed. I had to do everything. And I pack everything. I'm trying to get like some of his friends to help me. Like I hired people to help me move. Like I was doing everything by myself. I was losing my mind trying to find a place, like losing my mind. And I finally found one, like literally like 2 or 3 days before I had to move out. And I moved everything in. I put his stuff in the storage room. I left it there. I told him, I said, listen, when you get back, like you have 2 weeks and that's it. Because what kind of man leaves you with all of that?
A boy.
So I wanted better for myself.
Yeah.
I knew my potential as a woman. I knew my potential in life. And I knew what I wanted to do with my life and what I wanted in life. And I wasn't going to settle.
Nor should you ever. But I can only imagine like the complexity of having a child, but it seems like in a beautiful way, you finally hit that point where you just started to choose yourself. Mm-hmm. And it was probably the best decision you could have made,
100%.
But it's so fucking hard to leave.
It was hard to leave. I remember I would cry every day, every single day.
It's easier to stay sometimes.
I would cry every day by myself. He wouldn't know I was crying every day, but I would cry every day. And I would say, I hate my life. I don't want this. Like, I don't want to be with him. Like, I was losing my mind and I was trying to figure out how I could leave and what I could do to leave. I didn't know what to do. Like, we weren't even kissing anymore.
And when this ended, around how old were you? 22, 21?
21-ish.
21?
Yeah, about 21.
Okay, so now you're
I think.
24, right?
Almost 21, I think.
Okay, so now you're 24. And you have all of this going on in your life. And then fast forward, this little show comes along called Love Island, and you decide to go on reality TV. In our hectic, fast-paced lives, we could use some slowing down. Haagen-Dazs is made to be savored and enjoyed slowly. Introducing new Haagen-Dazs Belgian waffle cones, a completely new experience that's worth slowing down for. Daddy Gang, you've never had cones like this before, okay? They'll take crunch to a whole new level. Each crispy waffle cone is filled with the velvety smooth ice cream that Haagen-Dazs is known and loved for. Then it's finished with delicious toppings and a decadent bite of sauce waiting for you at the bottom of the cone, okay? Haagen-Dazs Belgian waffle cones come in 4 delicious flavors: vanilla salted caramel, summer berry, triple chocolate fudge, and toasted almond fudge. Boom. Sign me up. You guys know that I have the most hectic days at the office. So when I get home, I love to grab a little treat, toss my phone away, and take a minute to myself. These cones are a must-have in my freezer. I'm obsessed with the summer berry flavor. It's fruity and it's sweet. And seriously, it always hits the spot. It's the perfect way to end a long, 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 stressful day. Ice cream just always hits the spot for me, and these Haagen-Dazs cones are truly the perfect treat. Savor your moment of slow with new Haagen-Dazs Belgian waffle cones available at retailers nationwide. Call Her Daddy is brought to you by White Claw. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're way too hot to be spending the summer sitting inside scrolling on your phone. What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop letting plans die out in the group chat. Grab a White Claw and go make some memories, okay? Whether you're yapping poolside, hitting a barbecue, or just kicking back around a fire, a cold White Claw goes perfectly with your summer plans. That's right, Daddy Gang. It is White Claw summer. 100 calories in 12 glorious ounces, gluten-free, and the taste you know and love. I like to pick up a variety pack so that I can guarantee everyone can get their favorite flavors. I am personally through and through always a black cherry girl, but Matt loves the mango and Lauren's favorite is lime. So there's truly something for everyone. It's time to come out of hibernation and stop leaving everyone on red. We're finding a guy with a boat and we're having a damn drink. My friends and I strictly drank White Claw for an entire girls' trip last year, and now I can't even smell sunscreen without being reminded of that trip. It was honestly the best time ever. There is nothing better than warm sun, a tiny bikini, tiny bikini, and an ice cold claw in your hand. That is peak life. Pick up a pack from your favorite local spa and grab life by the claw with your favorite flavor this summer. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer works. Chicago, Illinois. Tell me how the fuck that came to be. Because I'm literally like, holy shit, dude. Like, just
curveball.
Let's just all pause for a minute. Hearing the beginning half of your fucking life, dude, and then to where you're sitting right now, I know we have a lot of shit to go through. Yeah. I know we have so much to talk about of what the way the internet feels about how you acted and all these things. But like, this is the shit of why I love doing my job, because it's like, we know none of this. We've known none of this. We didn't know about your childhood. And I understand Love Island's not the platform to like be talking about this kind of shit. But when we're judging so intensely someone on reality TV, there's 19 million more chapters that we weren't privy to. And so I appreciate you even opening up a little bit today, because I know there's so much more to these stories and we're getting a preview. But thank you for sharing, because it does give a lot of insight into now what we are about to talk about.
Thank you for asking.
Of course.
Like,
okay, Love Island. How did this come to be?
So I always wanted to do the show. I was always a dream of mine to do the show. I just never knew if I was going to. I remember like when I would go, sometimes I would go on like TikTok live with like at the time, because I was doing social like gym content a lot of times. So I would go on, you know, live sometimes and just talk about gym stuff. And like everyone kept saying like, because sometimes I would say stories like about my dating life, because it's fun like to talk about it. And I would tell people about my dating life, but everyone's like, you should go on Love Island. I could so see you on Love Island. You should do Love Island. Everyone's pushing me for like, you should do Love Island. I was like, okay. I met this guy. That's how it all starts. I met this guy and he knew that I wanted to do Love Island. And it ended up being just like a really toxic thing where it was like, he was not at all who I thought he was. That ended. He ended up trying to like rub in my face, so they reached out to him. And because he knew I wanted to do it. And then I was like, he might do it. Why the fuck can't I do it? Because he told me it was dumb. So I was like, why the fuck can't I do it? You're rubbing it in my face. So I said, fuck it. I'll apply. I applied traditionally. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I did. And then I think like a month later or something, I had gotten reached out to. Not even, sorry. I got reached out to shortly after that. But about a month later, I had my interview. Did that. Months later, another interview. Then I think it was like the final point where I met the producers. Since then, every week, like multiple interviews a week, multiple things I had to do. Then I remember I flew to Fiji and I manifested this shit, bitch. I'm just like positive. I'm always trying to stay positive, even though regardless of how negative that situation was, like I was staying positive and I was like, I'm going to have this. And I would speak it into existence. Like, this is going to be my reality. I'm going to have this. This is what I'm going to do. And I was like, I kept telling myself, like, I'm going to be an OG. I'm going to be an OG. I kept telling myself that. I was like, I'm going to be an OG. And I remember I came to Fiji, they flew me out and, you know, I had done all the interviews and whatnot and like all the filming prep work and whatever. And they're like, this doesn't guarantee you're on the show still. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I have anxiety. I'm just like, oh, I like to know things before they happen. And, you know, I'm sitting there and then I get told, we want you in the first lining, like the first lineup. I was just like, my jaw on the floor. Like on the fucking floor, bitch. That shit was catching. That flies were flying in that hoe. And I was like, holy shit, my manifestations are coming true. And I get on the show, doing the whole thing. I think I had a lot of luck on that show in terms of how long I stayed. And I think that whole show is really luck. A lot of it is luck. America's Voting, luck. Like it's luck. How they perceive you, luck.
Okay. Well, we're going to go back to the fucking beginning.
Let's go.
Because I didn't watch all these episodes for nothing, bitch.
Come on,
okay? And you didn't live it for
Let's
nothing.
do it, boom, chicka boom.
Okay. Day one, couple up with Jeremiah.
Yeah.
What was your first impression of this man?
So when we first saw each other, I remember I thought everyone was really attractive. When he came in, he like, I could just, you know, when you can just tell when a guy really likes you, the way they look at you.
Yes.
I remember I was like, I went to go hug him and like I tripped backwards and he like pulled me in and that like stuck with me. And I was like, it's like a movie. I was like, love it. You know, my childhood dreams are coming true. I remember in that point, and then, you know, we, you know, kissed in the heart thing, and, you know, he kissed a girl on the cheek, and I was like, like, why would a man not do that for me? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, period. Like, we love that. Everyone's like, do you not think it's a red flag? I'm like, damn, like, is that a red flag? I'm like, fuck. I'm like, am I tripping here? Because I'm so used to getting love bombed. At that point, when everyone's like pointing out to me, they're like, do you not think that's a red flag? And I'm sitting there in beach and I'm just like, am I being love bombed? Like, is this not real? I'm like, is this like, am I tripping?
How would you describe your guys' dynamic in the first 24 hours? That first 24 hours off the rip.
Me and Jeremiah?
Yes.
Oh, lovey-dovey as fuck. Like, he was so into me. I was so into him. Like, even on chill days, like, we would always, like, blow kisses from across the room. Like, we would look at each other and be like, and, like, we would get yelled at, be like, stop interacting with each other. Like, we would do all those little hearts to each other, like, blow kisses. Like, we would sneak in the hallway to kiss each other, and, like, we would get in trouble. Like, we would do those things all the time. Like, we would kiss each other all over each other's faces and whatnot. It's very physical.
So you intentionally decided that you wanted to wait to tell Jeremiah about your daughter. Why was waiting important to you?
So I felt like in the dating world, in the real world, I think that people don't really see me as a person and like get to know me fully. I think immediately it's like mom, and you're just like, oh, she's a mom, she's a mom, she's a mom. I'm more than just a mom. Like, I'm Huda. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more to me than just that. And I was taking this opportunity as a way for people to get to know me first, to decide if they liked me, and then go from there. There's people that have mom fetishes and shit all the time. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to let them get to know me first. And I said this on the show. I don't know if it was ever shown. I haven't watched it back. But like, I said all of these things.
One of the things that people online have kind of accused you of being slightly manipulative by hiding that part of your life from Jeremiah. Did you feel like you were leading him on and kind of setting up to fail by keeping this from him?
Not necessarily. Whenever we would have conversations and stuff, and I felt like he was liking me more and more and more as a person, I was like, okay, I can tell he really likes me, so I think this is the right time to tell him. I was terrified to tell him.
Why?
Because I really liked him. I was so scared. Like I was like, what is he gonna do? Like I hope he reacts well. I didn't want him to freak out. To be continued. But like, I was just T. But yeah, so I was just like, okay, I want it to be the right time to tell him. And I did bring it to his attention and we talked about it. I freaking stuttered a lot of the time I said it because I was so nervous. Like I was so scared to tell him. And yeah, I told him, he told me, he was like, honestly, I find it more attractive than your mom, da 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 da. Did I fully believe him? No. But I told him, I made sure to mention him. I was like, listen, if I'm telling you this, but you do not have to stay with me. I made it very clear. I was like, you do not have to be with me. It is okay for you not want to be with me. Like I just wanted to bring this to our attention. Like if you want to go explore, like by all means, just let me know. Cause I really like you. And, clearly like we both really like each other. But if this is a deal breaker for you, just let me know. He's like reassuring me, like, no, like I actually it's more attractive to me than your mom, like blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm letting him know, like, you can leave if you want to. And there's times where I brought that up to him when I could tell he was kind of switching the way he would treat me after I told him. And he would get defensive and be like, I can make my own decisions. I know what I want. Like, I can do that.
A huge debate on the internet is whether Jeremiah was the victim of Hurricane Huda or if you were the victim of Jeremiah's love bombing. Just if you had to give your immediate reaction, what is your answer?
I think that we both had faults in the relationship. Like, I don't think that anyone should fully take blame for anything, in all honesty.
Jealousy was a theme throughout you and Jeremiah's relationship. In the second episode, he was convinced that you got up to kiss someone during the blindfold challenge. And he was like, convinced. He kept asking you. And you were like, I swear to you, I didn't. He made you pinky promise, the whole thing. What red flags, if any, did that raise for you, or did that not freak you out?
It's so weird. I think I'm such a person where it's like I love giving reassurance, and I love making sure people are okay. And in that moment, I was like, oh my god, like, are you okay? Like, are you good? Like, are you okay? Like, I don't want you to feel, like I'm gonna do something to you. Like, are you like? I promise I'm not gonna hurt you. Like, and I just wanted to make sure he was okay. Like, take care of him in that moment.
Do you see though that it's day 2 and you guys already having that level where it's like you're not closed off and you having to reassure him that you didn't kiss someone else? Like, that's fast.
Yeah. We moved fast.
Okay.
We did.
You spoke about how you like when guys are obsessed with you. How do you tell the difference between when that is healthy and then when that can lead to being problematic?
I think that, especially on the show, I think I've learned a lot more about how to differentiate the two. But I think there's a point of like obsession where it's like I've had moments in the past where like people are like, should I move to North Carolina? Should I stay here and not move to another city? Like, should I? And past me might have been like, oh my god, he likes me a lot. Like, wow. And then another part would be like, that's really crazy. Like, that's insane. Like, don't do that. When I say like being obsessed with me, it's more so like, okay, I like a man who like wants to hug me and like physical affection and stuff like that. I like a man who's like, no, like I want to make sure I'm taking her to do this and I want to make this little cute thing that's thoughtful for her and I want to do this for her. I want her to be happy and I want to show that I really like her.
Now looking back in those very early days, what red flags do you think you missed from Jeremiah?
Damn, I gotta reel it back. Shit, there's so much that has happened in that villa. It's like,
I know.
I mean, honestly, the whole thing with you told me the kissing thing.
Yeah.
Like, the people brought that to my attention. Like, that is a red flag. Just like from what I've seen is like when I'm having conversations with other people, like he's looking over too. Like, see things like that. When, for example, before Pepe walked in, he was like, I'm not gonna be intimidated unless he's like a 6'3", like buff guy. Like, I'm not gonna be intimidated at all. Then Pepe walks in and now it's like when he found out Pepe didn't really like me, that's why he befriended Pepe. And to make sure, like, that's what the guys would do. They would befriend each other so hard. I never had a shot. Like, it was not fair, like, at all. And now it's bro code. And I clocked all this shit. There's so much stuff that I clocked that proved me right when I saw, like, little edits and shit. I was like, oh my God, I wasn't crazy. Like, I wasn't losing my mind here. Girl, when the whole Iris thing happened, I think I was working out with Pepe and Hannah, and like at this time I wasn't with Jeremiah. I wasn't with him. I remember he was in the kitchen, and I could just feel this man staring. Like I could see him staring because Pepe was like helping me with my weights and stuff, and I could see this man staring from the kitchen. Like I'm just like, I know he's looking at me right now. He does that.
Yeah.
He would do that.
Okay, whenever a new bombshell came into the villa and wanted to explore with Jeremiah, you had pretty intense reactions.
Yeah.
Even though you guys weren't technically closed off.
Yep.
Why were you getting so territorial?
I think because I was scared because of everyone doubting us in general. And it made me wonder, like, okay, what is he saying? And I'm like, should I be more possessive of this man? Like, should I mark my territory here? And, you know, I like, because he told me, like, you know, we're technically exploring the people, but like, you're the only person I want, like, da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, let me make it clear that, like, we only want each other, but like, we're still open to exploring other people.
That's interesting. Okay, so basically you're trying to say you were feeling like other people were questioning you guys, so you thought
so much throughout the villa.
So you wanted to lean in more to prove like, no, look, we're good and we like each other, and you're almost like putting up a bigger facade. Not that it's fake, but it's like, let's play it up a little bit so they really believe us because we do like each other.
Yeah. I mean, there was even times where, I don't know if any of this was shown, like, for example, like me and Amaya, we're besties now. But like back then, I thought, because I heard that the bombshells watch before they come in, I thought that she knew me and Jeremiah were so like lovey-dovey, and she did that on purpose to piss me off. So at that time, I had thought that she did that to piss me off. So I'm sitting here like, this bitch, like, fuck this girl. Like, she knew that me and him were like all lovey-dovey. Like, how are you gonna fuck with somebody who, like, you know, that is like super close with their person? Like, you're weird as fuck for that. And that's what I thought. And until after she told me, I was like, okay, but then I knew she still wanted to explore him. And then at the time I was just like, this is just weird. Like, to me, like, it's first bombshell.
Do you think though, Huda, that now looking back,
second bombshell, sorry. Second rack of bombshells.
But now looking back at that Amaya moment, like, let's use that as an example. You going and being pissed at Amaya, even if she had watched, that's her job as a bombshell.
And that's what I had to learn. You know what I mean? I had to learn that. Like, it's new. This is not the real world. Like, this is very different. You have to adjust to this shit.
Do you now see how people on the internet could be upset with you, being like, that is like fucked, that you're going at Amaya? It's not Amaya's fault.
No, did they show anything of me saying like,
oh, what?
No, anything of me saying like, okay, oh, I didn't know that you didn't know, blah blah blah.
I don't think we saw that.
Weird.
Okay. At one point,
I'm so sorry. Can I point on something on that last thing?
Yes.
So I was gonna say also at this time as well, that's when all the boys were like pushing Jeremiah, like, go explore, go explore, go explore. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And it made me just be like, damn, like all these boys are encouraging this man to do this. And it's like, damn, you're encouraging him to like leave me, basically. Because none of the guys like liked me, really.
Okay, pause. Why?
Bitch, it beats me. Like, I don't fucking know. And there might be things that I haven't seen that I gotta go look at. But, you know, a lot of the time, like, I feel as though people didn't want me and Jeremiah to be together.
Why? If you had to give your best guess, why do you think people were so upset? And I get, as it got on and it got toxic, fine. People were like, this is fucking up the villa. But the very, very beginning, they did not want this. Why do you think, if you can come up with your best guess?
They have their own narrative on like what to do in Love Island. And like, yes, you're supposed to explore, but if someone wants to lock in, let them lock in. Like, if someone wants to explore, let them explore. Like, let them do whatever they want. It's their own narrative. It's their own life.
They were very fixated on it.
It was a big topic in the villa. Like, everybody only talked about me and Jeremiah.
Especially Ace. He was fixated on you and Jeremiah.
So I've heard.
That is a fucking fact. Like, this man, half the time, I think most of the time I was looking at tweets, people were like, can this man give Shelly half the energy in the beginning days that he's giving Huda and Jeremiah? Like, bro, get in your own relationship. Stop getting in theirs.
I have no
even
idea.
if it's toxic, even if it's whatever, like, let them do their thing before this seeped into affecting the whole villa I'm talking about. We're not there yet. But at one point, Ace literally questioned what happened to you in your past that made you move so quickly in your dating life. Looking back, do you think his concerns were valid, or do you think he was crossing the line?
I think his concerns were valid. I think that, you know, he has a right to ask me these things, which is fine. And like, honestly, I respect people who talk and ask me things. Like, I would rather someone have that conversation with me rather than assume. That's something that would happen a lot in the villa. No one would sit down and ask me, hey, why is it that you do these type of things? And I respect people that do that. In all honesty, I really do.
Can you confirm, was there ever any sexual tension between you and Ace?
Yeah, at one point I liked him. I definitely did. Like there was a point where I definitely found him attractive. I thought he was really cute. I did not kiss him for nothing. Like
Yeah. Have you seen now the screenshots that people have posted confirming that Ace used to like a lot of your Instagram photos?
So I've seen.
Before you guys even got to the villa.
So I've seen. I've heard excuses. That is something where I can't say it's beyond me. That is his own words to be telling. It is beyond me, whether it's AI, whether he blames it on someone else, whether it's whatever, like it's beyond me. I've heard that he's unliked all of them. Like I've heard, these are all word of ear. I've only been here for so long. Like I haven't been able to catch one. I'm trying, bitch.
Okay, can you clarify for me, how early on were you and Jeremiah intimate?
Oh damn. I don't even know. Like honestly, I don't remember.
Okay.
Even when people were saying like, oh, we did shit, like it was like you can't fully do shit in there. Like, yeah, we had sex, but it wasn't like full on boo boo. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
What was that noise you just made?
Boo boo. Like, there's not full like boom chicka boom, the bow chicka bow bow. Like it wasn't like full, you know.
But you were like you were intimate pretty early.
Yeah, we were.
How do you think that complicated things, if it did?
I think that you should definitely, from learning from my mistakes, like especially coming out of this, don't do that. That's all I will say. Like, don't do it. Like that is a no-no. I think that a lot of times when guys end up getting what they want, it changes their character. And
you felt that way?
Mm-hmm. I did. I don't think I spoke on it, but there's things that I felt a lot in the villa that I never spoke on, but I clocked.
Why?
Because I didn't really have much people to talk to about it. That's why a lot of time, like with psych and stuff, like I would ask for her so I could talk about it.
What did you feel about post being intimate with him? What was the shift?
Like when I would ask him to do like nice things for me, because like a lot of the guys in the villa were doing really cute, thoughtful things for their girls and couples, and they weren't even on the level of like intimacy as we were or anything, and like they weren't saying the things that we were saying to each other. That's why the love bombing, like, hey, you know, you got what you wanted. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, like there was that, and I would ask of things, and like people were always like, Huda, I saw people were saying like, oh, she's so needy, she's so this, she's so that. What does I say? I'm not your cup of tea, don't drink it. Like the fuck.
But I think it's interesting to hear you especially with love bombing, which we'll eventually get to, but you're talking about the phase where you're being lifted up like you're this princess and you're the world and you're his girl and you're all these things, and then you basically get physical and you feel discarded, and it's kind of like I got what I needed. And now I think it's important, I'm not saying everything that you went on to do was correct, but I do think it's good that we're kind of just like walking through slowly, because any woman listening, I hope you haven't experienced it, but I have. So I can sit across from you and say I've been there, where there is this horrible feeling when you realize, oh my God, did he love the chase? And then I gave in and I had sex with him, and now it's not as enticing to him. It's not as interesting. And so you being like, can you just do little cute things for me? You're really just trying to see, like,
I was like, damn, it's only physical. Like I was like, fuck. Yeah, you're making me breakfast in the morning, but like sometimes it's more than just breakfast in the morning. And then people are like, oh, you're not doing something for him. I'm not giving wifey shit to a man who don't fucking deserve it.
Can you explain Pancake Gate to me?
Bitch. Oh, can I explain this to you though before I do that?
Yes.
So there was times where like I would express to him what I wanted from him, and like I would be like, hey, can you do this for me? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And they would never do it. And it drove me crazy, because it was like every single day I'd be like, hey, like, you know, and it's a lot for me to come up to someone and be like, hey, this is what I want, because I always get scared I'm gonna push them away. And I would say like, hey, you know, and it's one of our conversations we had early on, is like I have a hard time asking for things. And yes, I've done it a lot in the show, but it's like, it's because I'm getting out of my fucking comfort zone. I'm trying to ask for things, and I'm trying to be communicative and like speak about it, what I'm feeling. Because the whole point, how are you feeling? Like all the time. And So I brought things up to him and he would say he was going to do, oh yeah, I have this and I have this and I have this plan. I'm going to do this, this, and this for you. I'm like, okay, yay. I'm sitting there waiting like for the day. Nothing. I'm like, that would drive any girl crazy.
Without a doubt. My question though back to you is, do you think that you reciprocate the same standards that you hold your partners to?
When I'm with somebody like and they are showing me days on end that they truly give a fuck about me, getting to know me, about showing me that they like me more than just words but through actions, then I'm the type of person like, girl, with my ex, he switched his career every 2 seconds. Every single time he'd be like, oh, I want to decorate shoes. I said, okay, cool. Bought him everything for it. Oh, I want to go run track. I was at the field with him. Oh, I want to do this. I would do XYZ with him. All like, I'm such a supportive partner. I love uplifting and motivating whoever I'm with. That is my big thing. I think that you can do anything you want and you set your mind to. And I feel like every man needs that. They need a woman who's their cheerleader. And that's who I am in a relationship. Like, that's what I do. I love taking care of somebody. I'm a mom. Like, I love taking care of somebody, making someone feel okay. I like when I have, like, if I'm actually like with somebody, I love cooking for them. I love cleaning, doing their laundry, massages. I love doing all of those things for my partner. And in past relationships, I'm 100% that girl and I do that.
What do you think was the actual first crack in you and Jeremiah's relationship?
Oh my God, I'd have to like deep dive. Can you remind me of like key points that would happen?
I mean, I definitely think after you guys were intimate, I felt you understandably being needier, like wanting more validation external from physical. And it almost felt like that like pursuer regressor situation where you were going to him being like, can you do this? Can you do this?
He would run away.
And he would run away. And then it was almost.
And I felt that in person. And it just makes you want to run more to them. Like, you want to be like, hey, like, can I do this? Can I do that? Like, am I like, are you mad at me? Or like, and I'm always that person like, are you mad at me? Did I do something wrong? You know, one of the big talks me and him had before we even started anything was, we're going to communicate. We have to communicate. We're going to tell each other everything. And he told me I could tell him everything. So I did. Anytime I was feeling something, I would tell him. And, you know, everyone has expectations for their partner, like what they want. And I think at the time, like, I was thinking about like what could be, and I wasn't thinking about like the reality of it and like seeing it for how it was. And at that point, it was like too late for me to even explore others because everyone had their mind made up about me. They're like, oh yeah, she's so locked in and she's this and she's that. And it's like, great. So like now I really don't have an option if I wanted to. So I'm forced to make this work.
At one point in the season, Jeremiah told Iris, even though that you guys were going through this rough patch, he was still focused on you. You were his girl. He was validating your relationship, but you were upset that he had confided in Iris. Why was that something that made you uncomfortable?
I don't like when people talk about like our business. Personally, maybe I've done it in the past. I'm hypocritical, but like I don't like it. I mean, I've learned from my mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I gonna do that? No. Like, do you know? Everyone fucks up. But yeah, no, I just didn't want him to tell that to someone I don't know.
So I get that, you being upset. And I think what people got frustrated with you during the season, Huda, was like, a lot of times your feelings were valid. That's so valid for you to be like, why are you telling another woman about our issues that like she likes you and you guys have kissed and like, what? This is messy. Please don't talk about our shit. And I'm sorry,
but when he's walking in, she's like, and stuff, like freaking the fuck out about it. I'm like, you're giving me the ick, brother. Like, get the fuck out of my face.
But see, okay, Huda, what I'm saying is your feeling is valid.
Yeah.
But your reaction a lot of the time, you took it too far to the point then where you were basically losing your credibility.
Remember when I told you that there's a lot of things that play into how you react emotionally in there?
Yes.
Is that right? No, it's not right. And it's my first time in an environment like that. Never in my life have I been in an environment like that. Usually I can just have that conversation when I want to, or feel the feelings like privately, or do, you know what I'm saying? And in terms of like crash outs, for example, bitch, we all fucking crash out. Like, everybody crashes the fuck out. And in all honesty, if someone says, oh, you're doing too much, I know damn well your ass fucking crashed out in your room alone in 2018 over fucking Jacoby. Like, what the fuck? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Mine was just fucking caught on national television. Do I think I could have handled that a lot better? Yeah. And that's what taking accountability and learning from your mistakes is.
Can you talk to me about this communication breakdown? It seems like you and Jeremiah got to this point where you guys were always arguing. You could not get it right. Like, we hit this one point in the season where it was like, holy fucking shit, they actually can't have one civilized conversation. When you would talk about things, why do you think the communication was breaking down so heavily?
So I think that at a point I was scared that things weren't going to work. And I like at one point I knew that I had no other options in there, first of all. And that, I mean, it's partially my fault. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I didn't prevent that from happening. And, and that's the thing. I made mistakes in there, and I've had to learn throughout the season that, hey, you shouldn't do that. But there was little things that built up where it was like, okay, I'm asking you like, hey, do you want to play ping pong with me? Like, I really want to play ping pong, and you don't want to play with me, but you pull Iris and play with her. You've never pulled me the entire season to play ping pong. It's like little things that like mean something to me. And people say, oh, you're so nitpicky, you're so this, you're so that. Okay, there's things that I like in a relationship. There's things I want in a relationship. The right man is going to do all of those things.
When the shocking recoupling happening where America split you and Jeremiah up, going into that night, like, what were your feelings about your relationship? And then how did you feel when you found out that you guys got split up?
At that point, I think I felt fine in the relationship. I can't remember vividly exactly what happened. I would have to watch it back. Like, I really don't. I just remember that I felt fine. Because I was like, oh, couples argue. Like, we can work on things, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I'm willing to work through this and yada, yada, yada. And then when it happened, I was like, what? I was so confused. I was like, America fucking hates me. I was having a full-blown panic attack. Full-blown panic attack off camera, like full-blown. They're sitting there with me like, okay, like, calm down, like, you're gonna be okay. I'm like, I failed as a mother. I fucked up. Like, I'm like, America fucking hates me. Like, my daughter's gonna come back and her mom's gonna be the most hated person in the world. And I was like, now she has to live with that. Like, I'm gonna cry again. Because it's like, I'm reliving it. But anytime I talk about my daughter, I cry. But so I was like, I failed. At that point, I was like, I failed. And it was a terrible feeling. I'm so thankful. That's why I say luck is a big thing. I'm just so thankful that I had an opportunity to redeem myself, not once, but twice. First time, did I do that to the full extent? No. Because I was convinced maybe I can make things work still. And I knew that, for example, Pepe didn't want to explore me because, me and Jeremiah were so locked in. And with Jalen wasn't my type. And he's a sweet guy, but like, he wasn't my type. And they always say, explore people that aren't your type. And there I knew what my type was, and that's what I wanted. But yeah, I was convinced that I could maybe make things work and fix things. I came to the point it wasn't. Then I got saved again.
But even that moment, Huda, again, all we see is you're on the chopping block. You almost go home. He recouples with Iris, and you go up to the makeup room, and you are hysterical. You're sobbing. You're so emotional.
So you want to know why? I don't know if they didn't show this part, but this was a big, big, big part. And this is the literal reason why I was sobbing so much up there. I am there for Jeremiah 24/7. Always. Checking on him when he's arguing with the boys and he's sad and whatever. I'm there for him. I'm like, hey, like, it's okay, you're gonna be okay. When in that moment I'm hysterically crying, Taylor is sitting there comforting me the whole time. When we're off camera, he's comforting me. Taylor's scared as fuck, but he's comforting me. Okay, same goes when Taylor was in there and I'm purposely saying out loud, hey Taylor, do you want to help me with my coffee? Like, trying to see, hey, is Jeremiah gonna see that Jeremiah's standing right there? I'm trying to see if he's going to step up and be like, no, like, you're not making my girl coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted that from him to show him, like, show me, hey, I want to do these things for you. Ask me, hey, would you like a coffee? Like, something like that. And in that moment after the chopping block, I was hysterically crying because of how much I felt like I failed. I'm crying. Charlie goes home. Jeremiah does not check on me once.
We saw that.
You did? Like, he didn't check on me at all. I'm always checking on this man. He never checked on me. The one time I really needed him, he was not there for me.
That was a rough watch because you were saying like my husband would never. Like what kind of man is that? Like where is he?
And he's more focused on himself at that time. And there's so many times where like I was still there for him regardless of what was going on. Like I was always there. And I always made sure he was like, hey, look at the milk challenge. I sat there for a minute. They only showed a quick clip, but I sat there for a minute like, I'm so sorry. I grabbed his face, I was like, I'm so sorry. Like I rubbed his face like that. We were sitting on the bleachers and we were both getting milked on. He's looking at me while I'm crying, like checking on me. And like he rubs my leg and is making sure I'm okay. And I rub his arm. Like we were still checking on each other all these times. Like, and in that moment after the chopping block, and I realized he was never there for me, it made me hysterical because I was like, this man doesn't care.
Once this all went down, you guys are no longer in a couple. We saw things really shift. And I think this is really when people deemed this as like the crash out era, where you're no longer in a couple, things are shifting, you're kind of starting to spiral because you're losing him. Were you aware of how unhealthy things were getting between the two of you in the villa?
Yeah.
Like you felt it?
I did.
Did it feel like it had gotten bigger than you? Like, or were you just trying to save the like, what were you trying to do in that moment, you think?
Can you reiterate the moment?
Like, you...
I'm so sorry.
I know, I got it. Let me just read it to you right here. I have a perfect example. The internet was extremely upset when you called Jeremiah a pussy ass bitch.
Right.
And then there's also the other side of the internet who are like, damn, if that's what you guys considered bad, you would fucking hate to see me on Love Island. Regardless of how the internet feels about it, there was a lot of name calling and all the things. Like, what pushed you over to the edge to start kind of like using a little bit more profanity?
So at that point, I just felt like he kept winning. It really upset me because like it just felt like the stars were just aligning for him and everything was fucked for me that whole time. I wasn't talking about twice. This man doesn't check on me. Then he's on a date and I'm crying by myself. Like, then he comes back happy as can fucking be, enjoying his day. Still doesn't give a fuck. Like, it's just like, damn, all that shit you said to me, where is that? And I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, damn, I'm stupid as fuck for sticking around. Like, and just giving this man my all. Like, I'm dumb for that. Because even in that moment, even after everything he did, I was still checking on this man. Like, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have never done that. And, you know, like people are saying, oh, like it's so bad that you called him a pussy ass bitch. Be so for real. You know how many people called a man a pussy ass bitch?
Me.
Right.
My ex-boyfriend, if you're watching.
My
bitch. He is a fucking pussy ass bitch.
No, but like mine was recorded. Like, I should be like, when you're texting with your friends and your man just fucking did shit like that to you or something, you can text your friends and be like, fuck that man.
You fucking piece of shit, loser ass little bitch boy.
Yeah.
I will fucking ruin your life.
Let's hold on. Pause.
Let's calm down.
I'm weak as fuck. But
I'm getting triggered.
She's like, hold on.
And also.
And now that's a ribbon. Like they're like,
we literally go back. Like the trauma.
Like that one moment.
No, but it's real. It's like, why are you being held to this standard? Again, I'm not condoning it, but I'm also.
It's not the best way to do things. No. Like,
but it's
really
also.
Not.
It's like, is it a crash out? And I think, again, this is a big conversation. If this was a man versus a woman, it's like when you see a crash out, we have seen men on reality TV punch a fucking hole through a wall. We have seen them flip furniture. We have seen them throw things at people. We have seen people literally talk about, I will fucking kill you, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying it wasn't a lot when you did it in the moment. I think because you were the only one at that level, it also kind of exacerbated you. And there was a spotlight and you're walking through and you're walking from the fire pit to the back and you're fucking... That I will give you. It was, I would have done that. You were like listening in on the conversation.
Girl, I did that a lot in this season. Cause I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I might as well do it by myself because I don't know who the fuck's gonna tell on me in here. So I'm sitting here, I'm just like, cause mind you, I'm hard of hearing. So I'm like trying to listen in and see if I can hear it. I'm like, I hope I'm getting this right.
Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Neutrogena. Summer is here and the sun is shining. You need powerful sun protection that feels light on your skin. Meet Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Sunscreen. This SPF 70 lotion absorbs fast with a smooth, dry touch finish, so you'll forget you're even wearing it. It blocks 97% of burning UV rays and is water resistant for up to 80 minutes. Lightweight, effective, and perfect for sunny days. It's just what your summer needs. Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Sunscreen. You can't feel. Shop now at Target. There's obviously a lot of focus on you and but obviously there were two people in this dynamic. Do you think Jeremiah has taken any accountability for what he caused within this relationship?
Not that I've seen. I haven't seen really much. Every time someone says something, I feel like he's always just like, anytime, I saw that interview with Kai Cenat, and Kai was saying that I was crazy or something, and then Jeremiah's doing do I think anyone should be getting hate? No. I'm going to say it like it is and say exactly what happened and be honest. What another individual does is beyond me. But I'm not going to sit here and laugh and be like, if someone's hating on him, I'm going to be like, ha. I'm not doing that.
Do you think you're being held to the same standard as Jeremiah in the accountability around the toxicity of this relationship?
What I will say is he got out of the villa before I did. He had a chance to write his own name before I did. He got a pretty face. He's sitting here and he's just like, I'm so charming. And I'm like, uh-huh. And it's just like, okay, cool. You are painting your own narrative. That's fine. You're saying whatever you want to say. That's fine. But I'm going to say how it really fucking is. And I'm going to say exactly what the fuck happened and exactly what I was feeling. Because until today, no one truly knows what the fuck I was feeling. And no one knows what was going on. Not everything was shown.
Let's close the chapter on Jeremiah. Give me your synopsis. What the fuck happened? What do you think it was now that you look back?
I think that personally, from what I was feeling, now I won't know, but from what I was feeling, I felt like everything was great, got intimate, things started changing a little bit, told him I was a mom, things started changing a lot of bit, a lot of things kind of people were getting in his ear, things were changing even more. A lot of those things happened. I was getting more needy because I was scared that he was feeling indifferent. He has every right to feel indifferent. Even if he felt indifferent about me being a mom, that's fine. But talk to me about it. And you're telling me every second that we're fine, you're good, you're fine, we're good, we're good. And then your actions are showing otherwise. It's like, okay, I'm going to be upset about that. I'm not going to be like, that's fine. Especially if we're supposed to be working on our relationship.
Do you think you were love bombed?
Yeah. Plain simple. I think I was. In all complete honesty. I know that he feels indifferent. I don't think he fully understands the capacity of love bombing. He thinks that love bombing is just gifts and shit. I'm pretty sure. I think that's what I heard. I'm just like, that's not it. That's not all of it. Looking at me all the time and being like, I'm just kidding. And mind you, at the beginning of the season, take it from me. Around all my friends, I'm around my daughter 24/7. I'm always saying, okay, love you, bye. Love you, bye. Because I say I love you to everybody. Life's too short. Life is too short to not say I love you. And I forgot, I hadn't been dating like that at all. It had been since October or something. I literally was not in the dating world at all. I'm so used to saying, okay, I love you, bye. Even when any of the people and staff and whatever were doing things with me beforehand, in the hotel and whatever, people, I would always say, okay, love you, bye. That's the type of person I am. I'm a very lovey-dovey person. And I had to catch myself a few times because I kept saying, okay, love you, bye, saying it to Jeremiah.
I remember that moment. There was one moment where we saw you say love you, bye, and you're like, oh wait, no.
Yeah, I think I did it a couple times. I was, and I had to train myself oh, don't do that, because I didn't mean to. It was not intentional. But he would look at me and be like, just kidding, I like you. He would do that to me a lot. I don't know if any of that was shown, but he would do it so much, especially in bed. He would do that all.
Yeah, we never saw that in bed.
All the time. How could you not fall for somebody? How could you not feel do you know what I'm saying? And it's when he's saying love bombing is gifts and whatever, from what I was hearing on social media, I don't know if he said more, but that's what I heard. And yeah, it's just and I seen him doing those things, just okay, love bombing is not just gifts and shit. It's a lot more to it than that. Being super physical with me all the time, lovey-dovey really fast, right away kissing a girl on the cheek, those things, it's just okay.
How did you feel when he got kicked off the island?
I cried. I hate seeing people upset. I hate it. I'm a big empath. my friend's crying over something, I'm usually crying with her, like a lot of times, especially if I relate. And you know, like I have serious concern for a lot of people's feelings. And when he got done for that, and I was like damn, like that's not what I wanted. It's like I'm sitting here, I'm like, fuck yeah, I got dumped off the island. Like I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn. Even though he was doing exactly what he was doing to me, to Andreina, like he did the exact, like literally verbatim, like the exact same fucking thing, like every single thing, down to the chill days, the whole little from across the room, the little from across the room. Me and Taylor clocking this shit from across. We're just looking at each other like,
is this really fucking happening again?
Exactly to the, it's like he reads a textbook.
Was that hard for you to watch?
Yes. Oh my God. I had to sit there and I'm just looking at them doing it from afar. And I'm like, and that's when I started getting the ick. I was like, what is wrong with you? I'm like you're sitting here and you're just like from across the room with the same exact things he would do with me. And it's just like, okay, now I get it. He is a love bomber, but I made sure not to speak to them about each other. I never did. I wanted them to have their own ideas of each other and create their own.
Okay, so I think we can close the Jeremiah chapter.
Yeah, that man does not deserve to have his name in my mouth.
We're done.
Amen.
Let's talk about Casa Amor, bitch.
Casa Amor.
Tonight.
Oh my God, he was saying my name. Huda. He was saying it all the time. Huda and Chris. I'm like, okay.
You're like, say it again.
That's my name.
Okay, going into Casa, did it feel like a fresh start? Like, what were you looking forward to?
I was hype as fuck. The whole time I was sitting in the freaking villa, I was like, damn, when is my man gonna come in here? Like, when is this gonna fucking happen? I'm sitting here having me time 24/7. Like, I know TJ don't want my ass. Like, bitch, I knew exactly what we wanted. Like, I'm doing my best here. I'm like trying my best. Thank you for the practice.
You took it like a champ.
Yeah, I was like, options are coming. I'm fine. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not your cup of tea. That's fine. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay.
So were you nervous at all? Because I know the Casa boys maybe got to see like a couple clips or whatever the amount was that they got to watch of the actual season.
Mm-hmm.
Were you nervous of how they were going to perceive you because of your situation with Jeremiah?
Hell yeah. I was sitting here. I was just like, okay, great. So they're all going to think I'm crazy. Fabulous. I'm walking in here, I'm just like, and I'm even like, I'm thinking in my brain, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit here going into this happy as fuck, and I know that these guys watch everything. Is this gonna fuck up like, I'm like, damn it, the beginning, the guys are being buddy, can't explore. I fucked up my thing in the beginning by being too close up, can't explore. This dude doesn't want me, can't explore him. Going into Casa Amor, thinks I'm a crash out, great. Girl,
you could only go up from there.
Yeah.
That's a positive way to look
and I
at
think
it.
I surprised a lot of the Casa boys. Like, I
Yeah.
really did. The number one thing they all kept telling me was like, Huda, you're cool as fuck. They're like, you're actually really fucking cool. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, what? Like why do y'all all think I'm like terrible?
Going into Casa, I mean, people talked about how they really respected you because you tried to literally explore with everyone. And I think a lot of people respected that.
Thank God.
You connect with Chris, but so did Shelly.
Mm-hmm.
What was your understanding of how she felt about him?
So from the beginning, when I first saw him and we were sitting next to each other at the fireplace, at the fire pit, I was always making side jokes. I don't know if any of these are showing on camera, but like I was always making little side jokes. He would laugh at everything I said. And humor is so big to me in relationships. Like, as I'm goofy as fuck and I need a goofy person. I was a fucking theater kid. Like, I'm very goofy, very weird. Like, we love that. So I'm sitting there making like little jokes, and I have a lot of sarcasm. Like, I do a lot of sarcasm. I roast the fuck out of people. I have a guy best friend and a girl best friend, like, and we're all the same way. It's like, it's just my sense of humor. Some people, they're very sensitive and they can't take that type of humor, and that's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. I just won't make those jokes with you. That's fine. But like, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm just having these jokes and doing sarcastic comments, and he is eating the shit up, and I'm like, hell yeah, you think I'm funny? Like, fuck yeah. Because in the villa, no one gave a shit about nothing I would say. I say something, it's I'm just like, okay, great. And I'm in this Casa Amor. Oh, we love Huda. She's great. I'm like, yes, like you guys like me. I was like, thank God. Because I was so isolated. I was like, you think I'm funny? Like,
Okay, so you though knew that Shelly kind of was interested?
so I knew she was interested in him.
Okay.
Obviously she picked him for the kiss. When I didn't pick him for the kiss, it literally wasn't a I'm not interested in you. I literally said, and Bicha, I don't know if it was shown, but I said in Bicha how I don't know who I want, which is true because I want to get to know you. Learning from my mistakes. I want to get to know them. That's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, of course I don't know who I want. JD picked me. I didn't pick JD. That was not my decision at all.
So can you clarify, did you bring Chris back to the villa for you, for Shelly, or for both of you?
For both of us. I've literally said this so many times.
Explain it again because people still don't get it.
I've said it so many times. I literally said, I'm sitting there in the dressing room with her. I have this great idea. Chris likes me. I like Chris. Chris likes you. You like Chris. I haven't found a match in here. I haven't even explored him because I'm thinking he don't want nobody else because you're making it seem that way. But I took a chance last minute. So crazy how cards play out. So crazy. Take a fucking chance. And I go and I bring him for a chat. We have a conversation. Goes well. He likes me. I like him. Cool. Great. We're interested in getting to know each other. I can get to know somebody. Cool. First time in a minute. Great. So I was like, okay, I have this great idea. Let's do this. I'll bring Chris back. You with Ace. That way you can still explore Chris and I can explore Chris as well. And you can still explore Ace. Like it's a happy, I'm sitting here being like, we're going to be great. Like this is great. Like we're happy as fuck.
That all made sense to me. So then like.
And I don't want to be territorial anymore. That's the other thing. Like I'm trying to completely change. Like I'm trying to be a better person, not just like as myself, but in relationships. I'm trying to be better.
So what the fuck do you think got lost in translation between you and Shelly?
Beats me. Like I'm sitting here and this is the thing. Like I felt like everyone kept talking about me and no one was talking to me. No one was asking me, so what is it? XYZ 1, 2, 3. Like what did you say specifically? What this and this and this? And I think there's like little relationships in that are a lot stronger than me and other ones. And no one gave a fuck about my opinion. I would try to talk about things in a lot of scenarios where there's a lot of situations where I would be like, hey, can I talk to this about you? Or do you think this? And people would dismiss me multiple times in the villa. I felt like I had no one. Like I wanted to talk about things with people and no one would give a fuck. And I think that a lot of people were just talking to Shelly and there was things that were said that weren't said. And it's just like, you're dragging shit and you're making things seem otherwise. And that fucks me up. Now everyone is ganging up on my ass. And all you could have done is had a conversation with me.
Okay. There were so many conversations about like who's being a girl's girl. Can you, from your perspective, explain to me, how do you balance friendship while competitively trying to pursue love?
I think that in the villa, people would always tell me, even when I was with Jeremiah, they're like, everyone's here to explore. Everyone's going to explore. You're not closed off. Everyone's going to explore. Things are, you can't take it too seriously, blah, blah, blah. No one owns anybody. So I'm taking all of these things that people are telling me to try to learn this process and kind of like do it better. And I'm carrying that with me. And in that being said, I'm getting shitted on for it. And everyone had their opinions on us too. This is fake. They don't really like each other. Because in Casa in general, like I really kept a lot of things to myself just from me being so expressive about Jeremiah in the beginning and how that played out for me. It's like, I don't want to tell everybody everything. Like, I don't.
Okay, I have to ask, this is a little bit of a pivot, but the moment with Amaya in the Standing on Business Challenge, why did you not speak up for her?
I wanted to speak up in that moment. I think I was trying to, and then everyone kept talking over me. And it was a thing where, like, if I yelled, they'd be like, Huda, be quiet, da-da-da. And I'm just like.
Yeah, well, that was fucking rough. Okay, you better be fucking honest with me right now.
Come on.
What really happened between you and Ace in this goddamn heart rate challenge?
Oh, why is everyone thinking I went too far?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you know when I was doing it was like the dominant versus submissive challenge.
Yes.
Where like I kind of just go like to everybody, not to everybody, to Jeremiah. I did the same thing to all the guys.
Wait. Okay. Slow down.
From dick up. Like I went like.
Okay. Wait. There's a clip.
Yeah.
Of your gorgeous bodacious ass turning from you forward facing to him to you doing a little spin around, ass near face, and then it cuts. And then we see you guys like getting up. And the theory online is that you put your ass in his face. Is that true? Why are you looking at me like that?
Because it's so funny. I'm just like, that is not what happened.
Like, did you ride his face a little bit with that ass? Were those ass cheeks a little round his?
No, I think that's too far. Like, that's a no-go. My butt, I think, was like on his stomach area, like this area right here.
Okay.
And I was twerking. And it was like 2 seconds too. I went da-da-da, and I got up. I'm so dead ass.
So there were no cheeks suffocating.
No.
Facial.
The only time that ever happened was when I accidentally fell on Taylor in that fucking woodchuck wood challenge shit. Like, that is the only time.
Taylor was like, I fucking love my life right now.
I flew back. I was like, fuck. I literally said, I'm so sorry. I get up. I'm looking at Jeremiah. I'm like, fuck. Like, I fucked up. I did not mean to do that. No, I did not put my ass on whatever the fuck Ace's face. That did not happen.
Okay, more importantly, where the fuck did you learn how to shake your ass like that?
Girl, I learned. Even when I had like no booty, I learned. My friends taught me. Girl, I would be there in the mirror just practicing. I would take little videos of myself trying. I remember when I started to get a little booty from working out. I remember I would literally be like, oh my God, it's moving.
Oh my God, it's jiggling.
Like it's moving. Like
progress. Girl, that is a fucking skill.
Thank you.
Okay. We got to talk about Chris. Now let's get like a little bit more into the weeds here because motherfucking shit, this shit went south. Viewers were excited for you to have a connection in the villa.
Yes.
And you guys get back and we do quickly kind of see issues start to arise. A big issue in you and Chris's relationship was that he felt like you were touchy privately, but not publicly. Why? And I know you said it was because of Jeremiah, but like, can you really describe why you did not want to do PDA with him?
Okay, so like in my brain, it's like, okay, undercovers, private. In a separate room, private. I don't like, and mind you, I was doing it with Jeremiah, but like until I see it in my face, like for example, like and Iris and Pepe would do it all the time to piss me off, like just to be funny. They'd be like, Huda, look away. And then they'd be kissing, and then I'd look over and I'm like, oh my God, like I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to do that. Also, the entire time with Jeremiah, everyone has their opinions on our relationship because we're so touchy in front of everybody. It's like, maybe I don't want people to have their opinions and talk about us and whatever. Like, I just want to keep that to us. Is that a crime?
I mean, I got it. I think I couldn't get why he kept fucking lingering and like really couldn't get over it.
There's reasons why I wouldn't either, too.
Why?
There were so many things that he was doing that were not shown at all. And I think that like all of those things played into me not wanting to kiss him sometimes.
Like, can you just give an example of like what you were experiencing that was playing into you not wanting to kiss him?
Yeah. No, so he had a wandering eye. He was definitely looking at other girls. Even if it was off camera, would say things about other girls. And it's like, why are you talking about a girl like that in front of me? And he would have little cute nicknames for girls. And he would say, shut up. He would a lot too.
That was told you to shut up so many times where I was like, this isn't like joking anymore.
Do not talk to me that way.
Yeah, he always was saying that to you.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like, and I think that people were saying that I was being rude in certain ways. There's sometimes in my joking way of talking sometimes, like when I'm just like, bro, be so for real. Like, and I talk like that, and it sounds like I'm being really mean, but when you know my humor, like that's how I talk. I can't remember. There's like one specific moment I had seen a clip of me talking. I was like, damn, I can see how that sounds mean. It was in a joking manner, but I can see how that sounds mean. And that's happened a lot too. I mean, people don't understand my humor, but there was a lot of things that played into me not wanting to kiss him because I'm like, you're not doing the things I'm asking you to do. So why would I kiss you in front of other people?
Right.
Girl, he would never talk to me during the day, but he would talk to every single girl. I would walk in the mornings and I would get all cute. And like, I remember there was one specific moment I was in a green bikini and like some white shorts and I felt so cute that day. And I walked down the stairs. He is not looking at me even, but he's having a full conversation with Shelly. Like, doesn't even, just his full, and this would happen with multiple girls in the villa. Like, he would do this, and it's just like, damn, say good morning. And everyone's like, why didn't you say good morning? Because it's like, this has been happening for a while since I noticed he started having a wandering eye. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm not about to start trying to get his attention. I'm not about to do what I did before and like be needy. I'm not doing that. Like,
it seemed like Chris, it was like randomly just kind of like told everyone that you guys had sex without talking to you.
girl, he didn't fully do anything. That's the other part.
Oh, really?
Girl, it was like halfway. It wasn't even all the like we did not like that's the other thing.
You're like, it was like this.
Like, it wasn't even the full shebang. Like, I'm just like, you're over here like, yeah, we had sex and we did this and I fucked this girl. She's so fine. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Like, you barely put that shit in. Don't even. And it's not because I couldn't take it. That's for fucking sure. Like, bitch, shut up. I feel like that shit irritated the fuck out of me.
But did you two even have a conversation that you were like chill with him even saying that shit, or was he just going around and saying that shit?
Girl, he knows how I feel about me, about people sharing business of mine.
I think we all do.
Amen, sister. Like,
I learned that today. You're like, shut up.
No.
Between us.
You want to know what's funny? In bed, I literally said, keep this between us. You think I'm going to tell anybody? You think I'm going to tell anybody? I'm like, okay. Like, okay, I know he's not going to tell anybody. Then he goes and does it. You told me you weren't going to do, and I don't think that was shown on camera. But in bed, a lot of the conversations in bed were never shown. But that's when everybody starts getting lovey-dovey and talking a lot. So just an FYI. But yeah, in bed, he told me he wouldn't.
Oh my God.
I'm just like, be for real, brother.
Go
like,
back and play basketball.
Please,
okay.
if you were good.
Yeah, exactly. Thank
Just
you.
kidding. Don't send me. I'm just kidding.
No, it's fine. You're so
I actually
good.
don't know. I haven't watched anything.
Can you explain to me this pillow fight situation?
So I had a nose job.
Yep. Looks great, by the way.
Thanks, Queen. I had a nose job like a few months ago. He threw this pillow. Mind you, it might have not been on purpose. I don't think it was on purpose. But even I kept saying, I was like, bro, you picked the hardest pillow and threw it at my face. You saw the way you threw that shit?
Girl.
You're 6'8".
Girl.
Your hands are the size of my face. And you chuck a pillow at my face?
Girl, it like...
Do you process things in your brain? I'm just like...
You got whacked. You got whacked.
Girl, and I'm sitting here and they're like, she's so dramatic. It's like she got shot. Get the fuck out of my face. That shit hurts so bad. I couldn't even touch my nose like lightly like this without it being in so much pain.
Did he apologize?
He goes, sorry. Cuddles his pillow.
Let's quickly talk about the peaks and the pits. It was so fucking sad. You're all sitting at this goddamn dinner. Everyone's like, let's talk about our peaks. You get to Chris, the motherfucker is like, my two peaks are playing basketball with the boys and seeing my fucking family. And you're sitting directly across from him and he doesn't mention you at all.
When I tell you I clock everything. And these are all things I put in the back of my mind. You're like, he won't kiss me in public. Bitch, be so for real.
How did that make you feel when he wouldn't even mention you?
I sat there and I'm just like, I think there was so many things that were showing me that this man did not like me in that way or like was losing feelings in some way. And it's like, okay, it felt like the more I would talk about what I needed, the more he would pull back and like act like he was so nonchalant and fuck. And it's like, okay, great. That's fine. But I'm not going to yell at you about it. I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to put it in the back of my mind and carry on.
Okay, wait, the snuggling moment though.
Which
so
one?
You wake this man up in the dead of sleep. And
oh, girl, he was not asleep. This man was not asleep. He purposely rolled over and was just standing there like this, stiff as a board. Like standing there like this. And I'm like, hey. He's not listening. So I'm like, to his lip, I'm like, brother, I know you're awake. And he's just like, acting like he's asleep. He just rolled over. Like he's sitting there acting like he's dead asleep. And I'm like, dude, why the fuck are you ignoring me, bro? Like,
And you're like, if you don't cuddle me, I'm going to be mad at you tomorrow.
Because I was so over it because I brought it up so many times. And you just smacked me in the fucking face. I got fucking tape on my nose looking like the fucking Notre Dame or whatever the fuck, like over here. And you, brother, you're sitting here and you're just like, oh.
You're like, I'm going to count to 3.
Yeah, because I'm trying everything. I tried everything. I got down to, okay, you want me to treat you like a child? Yeah, I'm going to sit here. Bitch, was that the correct thing to do? No, I should have just left it and just left it alone. But you keep telling me that you're going to fix this and fix that and do this and do that. And it's like, you're not doing it. And it's getting to that point where I'm like, brother, this is so irritating to me because it's every single night. You know when like they say like the guys will give you 100% and then they'll take away 20, give you another 10, take away 20, give you, kind of like it to me. That's how it was feeling. And I'm trying my best to be on my best behavior. And I'm just like, I'm trying to be a better person. Like I am trying. Like, and if you say I'm not, bitch, look at the first like I'm trying. So like, was it correct for me to count down? But girl, I went down to my last option.
Chris's alleged ex posted on TikTok that he has a track record of being cold and passive aggressive. Can you confirm from your experience with him?
Yes.
Take me to the motherfucking.
That's so easy. I'm sorry.
You're like, yes. And like, what else? Oh, yes.
Yes.
The water moment. This has gone viral, obviously. You and Chris are having this final dinner and you're sitting there together and you're breaking up and
oh my God, it's so funny.
Oh my God, Huda.
When I watched that, I died laughing because I know exactly what happened in that moment.
Okay, what?
So it's just so funny. He because it made him look like he was doing his big one. What I had done when he walked up to me, like after like he had walked away initially, I told him and I was just like, hey, like, are you gonna carry me or like should I walk? Because mind you, there's like rocks in the water and it's like murky and there's like maybe dirty things in there, like I don't know, glass. I have no idea. I don't want to walk on that barefoot. And so I'm like telling him, I'm like, okay, like do you want to like carry me or am I gonna walk? And he's just like, I'm not gonna carry you. And I said, okay, then I'll walk my fucking self. Why are you here? And then he walked away.
And in the moment, so you guys had broken up, and I was curious because I feel like every girl I hope can see through that. He was kind of being like, I don't care, what do you want to do? And I personally felt like it was such a cop-out where it was like he wanted you to be the one to end it.
He
so
wanted
that
to play victim.
You can take the blame and he's the victim.
I know.
And did you feel it in that moment?
Yes.
Yeah, that was tough to watch.
I'm sitting here and I'm trying not to argue. Like I'm trying my best. Like just have a civil conversation. I was told so many times it's the most mature conversation I've ever had. Like I'm sitting here and I'm just like, okay, great. You're putting all of this into my hands and you're like, no, I want things to work with you. Like I want it to work out and you're doing everything you possibly can do to make me think otherwise. And you're putting it all on me. So pick your decision. So what are you going to do? And I'm just like, okay.
Well,
I'm just like, is this what I want? No. And I'm not settling.
Where do you guys stand today?
Cordial.
Before this comes out,
I don't give a fuck.
You'll be fine. You'll say this to his face.
I've told him all. He knows every single thing I've said right now. He's heard already.
He's posting a little on social media acting like you guys are really fine.
I wonder why.
Me too.
You know, a lot of people are. Or trying to. Trust me, I've clocked all of this stuff.
Do you realize you made history? You and Chris made history together as the first couple to break up during the finale. Congratulations,
you know, so I sat there after it happened. I was like, has anyone ever done this before? I was like, is this like something? Everyone's like, that goes for standing on business, bitch. You can't say I'm fake. That's for fucking sure. You can't say I was going after that fucking money, bitch. Like, that's all I have to say. I stayed real as fuck this entire fucking season.
Even if it was messy.
Even if it was messy, I'm real as shit.
Okay, let's talk. Are there any toxic patterns that you recognized within yourself from being on Love Island that you are going to try to move forward and break in your future dating life?
Yes. 1, talking over other people when they're talking. I'm working on that. 2, I think being a little clingy early on. 3, there's a lot, honestly. I'm working on myself, bitch.
Oh, it's good.
I think like not getting too defensive about things sometimes. I always say taking accountability. Like, I always want to make sure I'm taking accountability for things. You tell me. I feel there's a lot that I'm like.
No, I think that's it. I think it's like everything that you've talked about today and knowing more about your childhood, I think you experienced certain things that as a young girl you should never have had to seen or experience. But what we all now know, especially because thankfully mental health is a larger topic, it's like we now know that whatever your childhood was, it plays a fucking massive part into who you become and who you are. And so the fact that you are in moments repeating patterns, whether you are getting love bombed, it's like there is a reason you're doing that, Huda. There is a reason that you are genuinely so excited when someone is showing you love. Because look back at the beginning of this fucking episode. You had a parent who you trusted and they completely abused their power and their love and all the things, and you didn't feel safe ever. So if someone's making you feel safe and loved, why the fuck wouldn't you be excited to embrace that and enjoy that for even a fucking second, even if it doesn't last long? So it's now on you to take what happened to you in your childhood and now be like, I am now a grown-ass woman and I'm going to do the fucking work so I cannot repeat the patterns and also not let what my parents did and my childhood did define who I am as a woman. But I'm actually going to take that shit. I'm going to learn from that shit and I'm going to be better from that shit. And I know what happened on Love Island was a lot for you mentally, but I do believe even sitting with you today and getting to know you, like I can feel it in you. Like you don't like this shit. Girl. No one wants to be in a toxic relationship because there's fucking shit in you that you still got to work on. And that's okay. Don't we fucking all?
Yeah. And another thing is, I know that there's this thing going around that like they told me I had to act right in order for me to stay on the show. And then I also got told that someone was like, oh, you know, they had to put her in psych all the time. Like, but first of all, I would voluntarily go to psych on my own. I would voluntarily go on my own if I felt like I needed to have a conversation about something because I didn't feel like I could have conversations with the girls around me. I needed a woman to talk to. That's when I would go to psych. And when I felt like there was a time where I felt more emotional, I would go to psych. I wasn't we're so like you are mentally unstable. It was never that. Like, because people knew who I was. Like, they knew the real me. And
you still needed to talk.
Yeah, I need to have a conversation. And it's like, I know I have things to work on. Nobody's perfect.
No, fuck no. That's why I think I'm like a little exhausted and tired of the conversation about you online. I'm like, guys, let's fucking calm down. Like, I think, again, what I was saying earlier is like, I watched fucking season 2 of UK Love Island. I was all the way back in those days watching that shit. If your shit was called a crash out, these motherfuckers are up for murder. Like, this shit was fucking unhinged like you've never seen. It's like, I think we have to put in perspective what the scenario was, the environment. This is television. Guess fucking what? As much as people want to deem you as this, that, or the other, you gave us the best fucking TV. And clearly it seems like you do have good relationships with people in the villa. You aren't this big villain that the internet has made you out to be. I do want to just ask though, like, how are you though mentally right now?
I'm fine. I will say, like, I'm really happy I met Amaya.
She's awesome.
She sees me. Like, she really does. Like, I'm truly so grateful that I met that girl. Like, she is there for me 24/7. Even after this, like, she's there for me. And I'm there for her. Like, that is my girl. And Dragon, I love her. But, damn, I'm emotional today. You caught me at a great time. Jesus.
That'll be the thumbnail.
So just me crying. Call her mommy. So I am
Period.
So I love her, and I feel like after this whole experience, it's like I'm just happy that I'm here. I'm happy that there's so much love. I'm happy that I'm able to not really focus on the hate, and I'm happy that I have things that are more important to me, which is my family. And those are things that I'm more focused on rather than hate.
Who are you closest to aside from Amaya?
Probably like Nick and Alandria.
I think a lot of people wanted to know, like, the amount of times Nick did vote you to go off. How have you kind of reconciled?
I think that I feel like he was influenced a lot in his decisions from my perspective. did that happen? I don't know. I think that everybody makes mistakes. I'm all about second chances. Alandra can tell you that. She tells me all the time, like, you made me believe that people deserve second chances. I always felt like no one deserves one, and you see the goodness in people. And that's how I felt about Nick. I love him to death. Like, we were so close. We were such good friends. And, you know, he keeps me in check. I keep him in check. Like, we're great. But yeah, like, I do have good relations outside the villa. But, you know, a lot of people definitely are being a lot nicer. And I clock it. I do. I see these things.
Okay, I feel like I've put you in the hot seat enough today. I get it. The internet is going to be like, why didn't you ask her this? Why didn't you ask her this? Why didn't you? Guys, there's only so much time I can have with her. Part two coming soon. Call her mommy.
I'll be back.
Okay, I'm going to ask you some burning questions. Who was the fakest in the villa?
Sierra.
Who was the worst kisser on the show?
See, this is the thing. I did say, like, oh my God, I feel so bad, but I really don't care because he doesn't even like me. Fucking Jalen swallowed my whole face.
That'll do it.
My entire face. I'm sitting there like.
Who are you dreading seeing at the reunion the most?
I don't know. I think I've seen everybody already except for Jeremiah. I mean, I'm not really dreading. I really don't give a fuck about him, and like at all.
Yeah. Do you guys think you'll have a conversation or no?
I already know he's gonna be like, like we're all friends. I already know. Like I already know he's gonna do that.
Okay. Last. Who is the most exciting guy that has slid into your DMs since you got home?
Bitch, I can't even look at them shits. Every
Why?
time I fucking refresh them hoes, they refresh and there's too many.
Wait.
I literally commented on someone's TikTok. Someone was like, oh yeah, Huda left single, but I look like there's so many guys that are in her DMs. I said, are we looking at the same DMs?
Do you know how to organize your DMs by blue check marks?
No.
Bitch, I gotta teach you.
Do you want to do that now?
Kind of.
Just get my phone. No, go. None. Like I literally haven't read anything.
Oh my God, I am fucking dying at one of these. We need to talk about this immediately.
You're fucking lying.
No, I'm not.
I have so much to tell you. I'm like, damn, bitch, I just want to lay my life on you because there's so much about me that nobody knows.
Well, I was about to say, the minute the cameras go off, then we're going to keep talking, which is so annoying. And I'm so sorry to say that, you guys, but, you know.
We're about to yap away. You're lying, right?
No,
you're lying.
literally not.
We're going to stay here forever and be like, okay, so tell me.
No, so wait, what's going on? Wait.
So what about you? I want to hear about you.
No.
You're like, never.
Bitch, it's 10 o'clock at night.
You're lying.
No, I'm not kidding.